Recording. I have started recording.
Okay. Hello, everybody. Welcome to RIFTS 3 Galaxies.
Yes.
Almost forgot the name of my own campaign there.
Ah.
Welcome to National Lampoon's Summer Vacation.
Is it summer in Center?
It's summer here on this pleasure planet.
Okay.
All right, works for me.
Center, I'm going to say no. It's actually winter in Center.
They've actually modified the atmosphere of this planet so that it's
actually,
summer 24/7.
No, actually, they have modified the atmosphere of the planet so that it's always like 70-something degrees, but that doesn't mean there's still no technical season.
I would like to think that this
this is like Hawaii.
planet
has pretty
been
much
completely and totally engineered.
The entire planet's Hawaii.
Or the desert. Desert really doesn't have much of a change in seasons.
That is
true too.
We are currently starting off a session where the party is currently split.
Yes.
We have Talavac boozing with the natives down in a cave.
I'm having a better time than I've ever had since I got here.
Yeah, he's letting it all out.
Yikes.
Yep.
Drinking a glass that he doesn't know where it's been. Does he care? No, he doesn't care.
Oh, well, I'd like to have some before I go, I'll tell you that.
But he's boozing it with the natives, and our other members of the group are in neck deep in a murder mystery of their own creation. Having dinner and framing I was gonna say framing a know-it-all, but honestly, they're kind of messing with two know-it-alls at the moment.
Yeah, I know it all.
One they're
Totally
framing.
deserves it. That cane wielding fuck.
Yeah, the one that they're framing, and the one that said he was a doctor, and they're pretty much letting him prove himself wrong.
Yep. I remember we ended off, pick up the body, boy. We gotta check to see if he has the cred chip.
So we'll shoot back over to the party. And where we left off was this self-proclaimed doctor is rolling over the body with his arms fully outstretched, his face looking like he has his face over his shoulder with his eyes just barely looking back at the body with a look of disdain on his face. Kind of the way you'd see someone who is trying to pick up something incredibly nasty and throw it away. He has to struggle a bit as he is not a big person, but he does kind of like pick him up and pat him down a little bit and drop him on the floor with a thud. Isaac, you know enough by now. Well, many of you probably know enough by now. That thud's probably going to leave a bruise. This is not a carpeted floor.
I'll fix that later.
And he says, the credit stick isn't there.
Is this a doctor that's talking?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's the doctor.
I don't trust him. You know why? Every person who says they're a doctor is really a coalition spy. Single one.
Getting so meta.
So, murderer, kill him next. No. In all seriousness, Xavier will give a very well-acted look of shock and say, "That's ridiculous. He was just holding it."
Well, I don't know what to tell you. He doesn't have it anymore. And he's
Xavier's
going to
point to him and say, "Empty your pockets. Empty your pockets.
What?
You probably took it. You're the one examining him. You're the one closest to the body. Empty your pockets."
Why, I never.
Listen, I'll
doctor.
empty mine if you empty yours. I don't care what you are. Right now, everyone here is a suspect. Now, do we want to start panic or do we want to narrow things down? And Xavier's going to look at the crowd, expect to be like, what do you guys want? Solve this, catch this murderer, or shall we all just flounder around here in the dark?
And then pick...
go ahead.
And then get picked off one by one.
Roll me a... This is kind of a mild intimidation check.
Yeah, I'm kind of intimidating him through peer pressure.
And the group too, but not like menacingly, but yes.
Yeah, it's still okay. Roll 1d100, and I succeed by 17.
Nice.
There's a moment of silence as people consider what you said, and then there's you hear from the back, "Empty out your pockets! Yeah, empty out your pockets!" Ah! And the whole room kind of explodes in agreement. And the self-proclaimed doctor looks around, flushed, very angry, and starts pulling out his pockets, which are very lacking, if anything. You'll notice that the lady
doesn't even have supplies. I told you he's a spy.
The lady who was with him actually looks at him a little disdainfully. And he says, "Fine, look, see? No credit chip." And you hear behind him with a girl, "Of any kind, apparently."
Xavier looks disappointed.
And you'll hear, yes, "Well, then who has it? Who has the credit chip?" The murderer. The murderer has the credit chip. "But who? Who did it?" And like there's just like calls back and forth. And it's starting to get, you start to hear, "Maybe it was you." "Of course it wasn't me. Maybe it was you."
And Xavier will say over the roar of the crowd, "Inspector, what do you think we should do? You've been in situations like this before."
Obviously, the murderer is still in the room. As he then stands up, "It looks like we're going to need to do an old-fashioned examination of the belongings of everyone. Please, if everyone would line up." As he taps his cane twice on the floor.
The man with the nether cane says, "I'll agree to that if you go first."
He looks up for a moment. "Sir, if I'm the inspector, who is going to expect me? Myself?"
"I think the entire room can be the judge. Just empty your pockets in front of all of us. I don't see why that'd be a problem if you have nothing to hide."
Ruh-roh.
"If you would like, I will empty my pockets, but I will say right now, this is going to take a long time."
LOL.
"If you would like to spend 10 minutes confiscating and looking through all my pockets, be my guest, but I'd rather not stick around any longer than you."
Besides, Xavier says, it's a moot point. We want to get through this as fast as possible before the killer strikes again. If we all empty our pockets and there's no cred stick, then it has to be the inspector by default, right?
Hang on. NPC process.
Logic!
Listen. Let's get on with this. And Isaac will go up to the inspector, go next to the table that he's next to, and start emptying his pockets. First off, there will be a really finely made pocket watch that he will place on the table, that he will take from his inside jacket pocket. He will take off a ring that looks kind of nice, but kind of not. A wallet, which will flop open and reveal his sheriff's badge, and also a small lighter.
All right.
There will be no cred chits in the wallet.
Okay. As you do that, Sarah also steps up and says, maybe we should all keep an eye on each other. If the murderer has the credit chip, it'll take time to search, and we wouldn't want them to find a way to hide it. So
Xavier
watch your
quickly
neighbor.
slides beside next to her and be like, "Okay, I'll keep an eye on you."
she doesn't seem to notice.
Isaac rolls his eyes.
As she says, look at your neighbor. Keep watch on those in front of you and behind you. And not surprisingly, everyone starts nervously glancing around at everyone. And
I
yeah,
take
so-
this very seriously. Very, very seriously.
keeping an eye out.
Sure.
Mhm. She might be a spy. I'm gonna have to make sure every single crevice is thoroughly
Oh
watched.
my god.
Wow.
I'm kidding. She's wearing clothes. I'm just being a dork.
So Isaac, you have emptied your pockets.
Yes.
Really, it's the inspector's next move, I suppose.
The inspector, excuse me, Lucas, is going to be going through. It does not appear as he weighs each of them through his hand, kind of bobbing it up and down, that there's no secret compartments. And are you sure there's nothing else on you?
On me? No. Do you need me to strip? He's gonna ask questioningly.
You hear like 2 or 3 high-pitched, yes, I think.
For the record, one of those was not Xavier.
And one of those was not Rebith.
LOL.
But one of them
Since you
was.
are-
It's what you're trying to
Was
say.
not.
No.
Since you are a man of the law,
Mm-hmm.
I am not going to inspect you any further than this.
All right. And Isaac will start putting his stuff back in his pockets and stand next to the inspector.
Right. Everyone give me a moment.
Okay.
As this is going on, the room starts to get louder and not like yelling, but people are starting to get rather nervous, and you're starting to hear what was that? What are you putting your hand in your pocket for? I'm not putting my hand in my pocket. I saw you. And then like over another one. Are you trying to get out of my point of view? What? Yeah, it's weird. You're staring at me. Well, I'm supposed to stare at you. And this kind of conversations are starting to pop up all over the room.
Because I had one thing in mind, and then I was just like, that's not able to do that because the one team member who could probably do that is not here. Let's see.
What were you thinking?
It's a fake scanner, basically.
Mm. Well, Isaac
Xavier
is...
takes up his holographic computer and makes fake bleep bloop noises with his mouth. Bleep bloop. Meh. No, he's fine. Next.
Oh God. I am going to. Isaac is going to offer to try and calm people down and perhaps help at a different part of the room.
Okay. And then you guys start emptying everyone's pockets. So one by one, people come up.
Do we have like a buddy system? Do we find a buddy and empty each other's pockets in front of them?
No.
Or maybe help them
No.
empty their pockets?
No.
Or the purse, or make sure nothing's hiding in their cleavage?
I
Okay,
mean-
you remember when I said I wanted to play Xavier less pervy? Apparently
Yes.
I've lied.
You have
Apparently
lied.
I lied. Okay, I gotta tone this shit down. Come on, my friend. Jesus.
All right. You guys start checking everyone's pockets.
Mhm.
The man with the cane is one of the, not the first, but certainly one of the first to step up. And as he starts emptying out his pockets, he looks Lucas right in the eye and says, "We're still waiting for you as well, sir." And he starts emptying his pockets.
I would like to put my efforts towards something productive, sir.
I think it would be. He just kind of stops with his hand in his back pocket. What?
Dun 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 dun.
He pulls out a credit chit. What is this? This wasn't in my pocket. This isn't
Xavier
mine.
points to him and yells, "Murderer! Arrest him!"
Oh no! All right. I mean, oh yes. All right. Okay. The room explodes in cries of terror and horror as Xavier screams, "Murderer!" And the man with the cane like throws the credit chit and says, "It wasn't me. I didn't do it." And
Xavier says, "That's exactly what the murderer would say."
Can I do an action?
mm-hmm.
Oh man, I'm thinking of taking out of Talavac's book. I want to tackle him. Is that a bad idea?
No one can.
You're asking the player.
I'm asking the players.
Okay. You know what? I would probably say yes. I mean, because violence towards a person who has not done much.
Yeah, I know.
And not only that, but this is supposed to be just a fun little murder mystery that everyone kind of knows that they're playing. And if we've learned the consequences of Talavac's actions, we probably, I mean, I don't want to tell your character what to do, but if you're asking my opinion, it's probably not best not to make the same mistake twice.
Isaac will approach him menacingly. Not outright tackle him, just start approaching him.
Okay.
Please bounds that man as he points his cane to him. While he's doing that, while everyone's focused on such things, I'm actually going to tell the nice lady that's beside me another person's name.
Okay. People roughly grab the man with the cane, and he is shouting at the top of his lungs, "Unhand me! This is a stupid game! I will not be tied by..." And the lights blink out. As Sarah pushes her little thing. Yeah, which name did you tell her?
Is going to be
Shandi.
Shandi. Yeah.
Oh, for a second I thought you were going to name either me or Burn. I'm like, I'll play along with it.
No, I'll play along. Shit.
Shandi. So
No,
Shandi
Shandi,
was one of the two of the old couple, Dimitri and Shandi. So she's the elderly woman.
Mm-hmm.
So Derek and Freak are gone. All right. So the lights blink out. Shandi and Dimitri were arm in arm, kind of a little apart from everyone for obvious reasons to you anyway. They weren't really taking part in the hysteria. They were just kind of standing there neutral.
Mm-hmm.
So the lights blink out and...
Let's see if this works. Go, I get my little goggles up, do my little thing, wiggle my little butt back and forth.
Why you gotta wiggle, wiggle, wiggle?
It's important to throw. Any dart player knows that.
Ooh.
That's a hit.
Main body. Yeah.
Main body. You hear an elderly and the lights...
Really
Yeah.
bad acting.
Yeah.
Bad acting
Well.
there, Miss What's Her Face.
The lights turn up, and Shandi is on the ground. Her arms splayed out, her leg in an awkward, twisted position, and her head to the side, with a rose sticking out of her belly, and it is starting to seep blood. The entire room
no.
gasps.
Oh no, Sarah, are you okay? Xavier says as he rushes to her side, grabbing her by her head and thrusting it upon his chest, holding her close, making sure everything is fine.
Sarah Sarah says,
"Your move, Sarah."
Sarah says through gritted teeth, "I'm fine," as she steps down on your foot with her heels.
Ow. Okay, fine. That's what I get. And they say chivalry is dead. Xavier mutters to himself. But he takes it on good stride. Spoiler alert. Xavier's had a few drinks. Xavier's had a few drinks tonight already. All right.
He would not be alone. There are gasps. This entire conversation between Xavier and Sarah has gone pretty much unnoticed as everyone gasps and points at Shandi. And the murderer struck again. And the man of the cane, who's still held by several people, says, see, it could not be me. It wasn't me.
It was the rooster. It was the royal cock.
Sorry. There's
I honestly don't even notice it anymore. Which is a good thing.
Lucas is going to shakily bring down his binoculars from his face and just say, "Good heavens."
Oh, poop.
Isaac is gonna try and rush to Rebeth if he can find her.
Rebeth is in the corner with her face buried in her hands, and she is genuinely crying.
Okay, he's going to just try and console her. You know, hold her and say...
She clings to you.
Yeah. He'll try and say that he'll try and make sure that both of them get out of there and all of that. You know? She
kind of like says over and says, "We're not going to make it. He's going to kill us all. We're all going to die."
Hold up a second. I have an out of character. Oh, I have an out of character question for you, Squee.
Sure.
Now, I could be completely wrong, but I'm assuming this murder mystery is kind of modeled off to real life when people go to murder mysteries. In fact, that they know it's a murder mystery. Do these people not know this is a murder mystery?
Okay. I will say, out of character, you do, or even in character, you were told by Sarah that most of the people here know that something's going to happen and this is an interactive thing and something like that. However, it should be pointed out, Rebeth did not have a ticket to this event. She was invited by Isaac.
Yeah.
Oh.
Well, actually, she said that she wanted to go and she was trying to get tickets.
Right.
If I recall correctly.
So she may or may not know about this.
So
she could be the world's best actor. Okay, I mean, she could be a fantastic actor. I just wanted to ask this, right? Because I'm like, that's a pretty neat. I mean, this hotel is already fucking nefarious already. What with us almost killing whatever his name was.
Well, you have been told that they are very vague when it comes to what's actually going to take place. And it's not like it wouldn't be the first mix-up. Looking at the guy with the broken ankle.
Wow. If I were a real diplomat, I would be very displeased. Okay. We may resume back in character.
All right.
Thanks for scratching my inquisitorial itch.
Sure. Absolutely. Sarah kind of leans over to Lucas and says, "How many more roses do you have?" By the way, Lucas, you have one.
14.
She looks at you with a raised eyebrow. And then she looks you up and down like where the hell? And then she shrugs and she says,
"I'm losing people, though."
She shakes her head and she says, "Make me the next one." And then she just walks away and stands there for a little bit as the room again erupts into, "He's gonna kill us. Who is it? Is it you? Is it you?" Like, you can tell the atmosphere of the room is like obviously, Rebith's the only one that's really, truly distressed, except for the man with the cane, who is incredibly pissed.
And noticing that Isaac is going to stick by her.
Okay,
I think he's done for the night because he
it.
Genuinely thinks she is upset.
Got it. The rest of the room, they seem like they're trying to figure this out, but that equates to pointing fingers and saying, "It's you, isn't it?"
Just random people, just a whole bunch of arms pointed at each other. A mess of webs.
Well, with that, over the hub of the room, Sarah starts laughing maniacally. Like, she stands there in her dress, which, as you saw before, is a pretty gorgeous dress, with her legs apart, a shoulder slumped, her head thrown back, and she is laughing like Snidely Whiplash. And after a laugh that pretty much quiets the entire room, she says, "You're all a bunch of fools. You never once suspected I was the killer."
Lucas then goes, "This is true."
Wow. And to think I loved you, Xavier says dramatically.
Sarah turns to Xavier and says, "Oh, that's why I am saving you for last, love." And she like steps up and puts a hand in Xavier's hair, like she's running it through his hair, his head back, and says, "So you can watch everyone else first." The room's very quiet, with a lot of open mouths.
Whoa.
This is the time to actually put down the lights.
Help! Help!
Help!
Oh,
jeez.
So are you pressing the button to put down the lights?
Yeah.
I'll press the button if needed.
Okay.
Yeah.
Lights go down.
Oh my gosh. And just to make it theatric and things like that, Lucas is actually going to try to get it in her head.
Oh God.
Oh God, no! If you miss, oh jeez.
I know.
He could kill
Then
Xavier.
I'm gonna die? That's hilarious.
Oh
Wait. Who's what?
If it's possible, if you miss completely, she's right up next to Xavier. So
Oh.
I mean, you'd have to miss completely, though.
Yeah, but this is like the equivalent of her and I being in hand-to-hand combat and you firing into hand-to-hand combat.
Oh,
Same,
right.
right?
no!
Yeah.
That's okay.
It'll be okay. It's fine. Bye-bye, Xavier. It's been nice knowing you.
I've been hitting all of my targets tonight. When
It's
is he
true.
ever going to miss?
It's not like you're gonna roll a 1.
Yeah, probably not. So what was the negative for a headshot?
-6.
Oh, straight
okay.
roll. And you have to get a 12. Higher than a 12.
Yeah, but if
That's a solid body shot, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Solid body.
Not bad.
which means
Neck?
hold up a second. No. Give me a moment. Let me look. Is it okay if I open up the
By all
combat
means,
rules?
actually, yeah, I'm curious. Yeah.
Because there is a threshold where, like, if it's a complete miss, it's a miss. But I think if you get under what you need to hit, but above what you need, all right, I'll explain in a moment. Give me a
Yeah,
moment. here.
sure. Actually, it's so rare that we get in this situation.
Yeah, because most people are smart enough not to fire into combat, except when we're doing a fake murder mystery and the consequences aren't actual dire. So here, got it open right here.
She could play it
Firing
off too.
into melee.
Because she could just say, I guess I lied.
There we go.
Well,
General shot, college. Oh, here we go. Firing at targets engaged hand-to-hand. Sometimes two individuals will be in hand-to-hand, blah, 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 blah. In order to do so, you must take an aim shot, which you did. Use the called shot rules as per usual, with any modifiers decided by the GM. If you succeed in the called shot, you hit the target as usual. If you roll under 12 but over your miss chance, so in this case, like if it's beyond 50 feet, it's over 10. If it's under 50 feet, then it's over 5. Then you roll a D100. On a 1 to 50, you hit your companion's main body. On a 51 to 0, you hit the opponent's main body.
All right.
If you roll a miss, then you miss both targets completely.
So D100.
Okay, time to see who dies.
I have to get 51 or up.
Yeah.
To actually hit her.
Right.
There we go.
Okay. The lights flash back on, and Sarah has melodramatically flung her arms around Xavier and is sliding down his body as she says, "But I was..."
Dead, dear. You mean dead, Xavier says as he sits away, as he slides away, breathing a sigh of relief.
You hear one small voice from the audience, "But she was the murderer."
It's clear, don't you see? We have a murderer, and we have a savior.
There's a lot of confused murmurs, and you hear one like kind of over, "My good man, I think it's very obvious. It's not clear at all."
You're right, I'm in shock, Xavier says as he goes to the bar. I'm gonna drown my sorrows now that my quote-unquote lover is dead.
The room that was a mass of pointing fingers and accusing is now kind of a very quiet, confused murmur.
Lucas hasn't really given really much instruction to this, so I think he's gonna just play it by ear at this point. He had his book open, scribbling frantically, and shuts it quite loudly to everyone else. "I've got it. I know who the murderer is. The murderer is," and he's going to try to flick off the lights.
Okay. The lights flicker off. The equipment's really well done, well made, so
He's going to try to jump up on the table and change his clothes.
oh god. Oh no. Yes. Okay.
Make it so.
What are you changing your clothes to?
Please not. Please
Yes.
don't.
Oh, let's find out. Let's find out.
The lights back on. And standing on a table is...
Oh boy. Oh my god, exactly how should I play this? Nah. I'm gonna say that's kind of in the fucked up category, so I'm not gonna do that one. He's just gonna change into his actual normal clothes, his very colorful means.
Oh, okay.
And I know.
I wanted to be Mrs. Fussy Dust. But no,
And-
Lucas is okay too, I guess.
And he'll put it basically in the dark as well. A shimmer of like a almost just pillar of light for where he is on top of the table will exist and then slide down. It will be darkness for a little bit longer while the lights fade from his shimmering hoop. when the lights flicker back on, is Lucas standing there in a glorious pose, with his arms raised and one leg tucked behind another. It is I, Lucas.
There's a moment of silence, a few gasps. Everyone's staring wide-eyed at Lucas, and then there's a few. Who's Lucas? I don't know. Who's Lucas? Oh, he's the murderer. He's the murderer. I knew it was you. Like you hear like one voice out there, and then a bunch of the whole crowd just starts pointing at Lucas.
Lucas will up down. Yes. I hope everyone has had a good night tonight. As he's gonna like ruffle his hair to get a bit more messy than usual. I've had quite a fun time last night. Tonight, excuse me. You've all been fantastic, especially you, good sir. You're a grand player. He's gonna put to the cane wearer.
The man with the cane will kind of look flushed and go, "Oh, well, thank you." Yes.
Lucas will go over to the lady, Sarah.
Yes, sir.
Sarah. And we'll check if she actually used a thing to knock herself out.
Yes, she did.
Huh. Lucas rises back up. Well, this might take some time for them to wake up, but in general, these are fake. As like he'll like pluck the roses from her. And go, these are great. You should probably get them some at the shop. It's like he's probably gonna try to get the brand of it. It's very nice quality, and he's gonna like stick it to his forehead.
Everyone claps and cheers, and you hear like a lot of good show. The atmosphere of the room is pretty jovial, except you do hear Isaac sitting next to you.
Foot hurts.
Rebeth stands up and screams at the top of her lungs, "What is wrong with you people?" And she storms out of the room looking incredibly upset. The room kind of quiets down and looks at her as she leaves, and then go back to congratulating Lucas and saying, like, Lucas, like, you see people go up to you and they congratulate you and they think it was really well done. I mean, I knew it was you. I knew. I thought it was you. I just, you know,
think being
but really well
detective
done.
this year was a great touch.
You even had one person who swears that this performance was even better than last year's and that you're getting much better at it.
Thank you.
And after that, everyone sits down and finishes their dinner with quite a merry mood. Isaac, by the way, how did you react? Have you done anything? Have you stayed? Have you left?
When so when Lucas was saying that it was fake, he started to mutter to her that it was fake and everybody's okay. And that's why he was approached by Sarah before. It's his job to make sure that nobody got hurt. And if, in case they did, it's his job to fix them, to heal them. And that kind of thing. Okay. Is that fine?
Yes, absolutely. It didn't stop her. The whole time she looked very upset and angry as you explained it to her. And then she had her little yell and then left the room.
Okay. So who all looks like they were injured from the actors? Was it just the bruise?
One really? Yeah, there was the guy that was dropped by the quote unquote doctor, but there's not even a bruise developing yet.
Okay, then I'll deal with him later.
Hurts.
I'll deal with you later.
Xavier seems to be limping a little bit.
My foot hurts. He proudly proclaims. Also, he goes once the crowd is done over to Lucas. Xavier will say, "Sorry, I stole your pretend girlfriend. I just thought I'd add some more drama."
Lucas then looks over at the floor where she's laid down. Maybe we should prop up the people who are unconscious.
Okay, I got Sarah. Xavier says as he picks her up and
I got the old
places her
lady as he
daintily
rushes
upon a
across
chair.
No one picks up Deke. Freak, I mean, or
In time.
Derek.
Freak.
Yeah.
Freaking
Freak or Derek.
Derek.
No, eventually staff members do come and collect them. And
But-
they assure everyone that it is a sleeping drug and that they will wake up in about 8 hours or so. When the cock crows.
That's
Yes,
a long time. That is pretty impressive.
I know. I have like 6 of them in my yard now. I wish I could get rid of them. Shut up!
They heard him.
They love you.
You
Anyways.
can't do nothing. Anyways, if you guys don't
What?
mind, I'd
wait,
like to slip over to
wait.
Oh, go ahead.
You
Okay, yes,
asked
yes,
what
yes,
I'm
yes, yes.
doing, and you went on
Oh,
to
yes.
others people. Hold on.
Okay.
LOL.
Isaac is going to rush after Rebeth.
Okay. All right then. You'll find Rebeth outside in the hall, standing by a banister, like quietly trying to not cry.
He will try and approach her and see if she shies away from him.
She doesn't, but she glares at you. You didn't tell me. You let me believe that was real.
They had me make sure to not tell anybody. To make sure that...
Huh. I'm glad that your game was so important to you.
I'm sorry.
She takes off the ivory bracelet and she hands it back to you and she says, "You know, maybe your life is just too dangerous for me. Or maybe you just don't know how to treat a woman." And then she begins to walk away.
Isaac will sigh, she gave the ivory bracelet back to Isaac, right?
Right. Mm-hmm.
Put the bracelet in his pocket and return to the banquet hall.
What a cock.
What a cock. So he will return to the banquet hall and he will make sure to spend some time healing up whoever needs healing up, including Xavier.
Okay.
But
when you heal him, you
Yay.
find that it's very superficial.
yeah, well, it's more of his pride being hurt. But you know, gestures
Prescribe me
are
something.
gestures.
Prescribe me
Prescribe me
something
something.
for my pride. I take booze. Booze is really good for the ego.
And the rest of the evening is spent in merriment as people finish their dinner.
Yeah, Isaac's not going to stay far after healing the people. He's going to go back to his room.
Well, you're on a cruise ship, so
Well, then he'll go.
you can
Then I'm
adjourn.
gonna
do
fly
something.
away.
Yeah, there are there's outside on the balcony. There's inside galleries where there aren't many people. You can certainly find. Well, you can do whatever you want. You can.
Isaac will try and find somewhere that is quiet.
Okay. Give me a second. Let me roll something. Okay. You are more than able to find many places that are quiet. In fact, there's a very nice art gallery
Okay.
that has several different paintings and the like that there doesn't seem to be anyone in at the moment.
Are there benches to look at the paintings?
Yes.
Then Isaac will spend the rest of the evening sitting on a bench looking at a painting, thinking.
Okay.
And that's it.
All right. Okay. With that, I'm going to shoot over to Talivac real fast. Hi, Tally. You there, buddy?
He might be muted again.
I'm muted.
No, Dave's not muted.
Uh-oh.
Dave!
He needs to unconnect and reconnect.
Oh no,
Okay.
yeah, Dave, yeah.
Yeah.
It might be one of those unconnect and reconnect things.
Darn
So click the
browsers.
hang up and come back, Dave. Do that. Okay. See you in a second.
Well, while he's
Wait,
doing
there's
that,
a
I'll let you
hang up
guys-
button? Oh, yeah, there
Yes,
it is.
there
is.
While
While he's hanging up and come back, I'll let you guys know so that the rest of the crews
Hello?
that evening they
Hello.
hello.
Oh, okay, okay.
Rest of the crew?
Okay. I was just I'll finish this real quick. The cruise heads back to the hotel, and around midnight or so, you guys get back.
Okay.
So Talivac, you have been drinking for several hours with your new buddies as they tell stories and you tell stories. They tell you very colorful stories, actually, despite their tentative grasp on your language. They are very good storytellers. It might be the alcohol, it might be their colorful language, but they paint many a picture with stories of great hunts in the wild and foolish tourists that leave items when they spearfish and when they collect them, and how many of the natives will see how close they can get to the tourists without being spotted. And they'll laugh that one of them got a spear to the leg as the tourists mistook them for a large fish. And the stories go on for hours and hours, and the drink never seems to lessen, and their mood gets very, very cheerful. And at one point, they one of them even begins to put paint on your face that matches their face, and says, he's very drunk. He goes, "Your brother now."
Oh. Is there any reflective surfaces like a puddle or something like that, or do they?
Yeah. There's a few like puddles and the
Alright.
like.
Just go over there, look at it, just squinty eyed, and just look, and they just. I'm blue.
You after many hours, most of them have fallen asleep, and it's just you and the first one who talked to you.
He seems like
And-
this is me to you. It seems like the leader to me, since he's the actually one who can speak. That's what I'm assuming.
He does seem to have a presence of command, and the others do seem to follow his lead. When he does something, they do it, kind of thing.
Does he have different markings than everyone else, or does he have more elaborate markings?
Yes, he does.
Ah, there you go. Okay.
So most of the people are asleep, and it's just you two. And he says, "Stories you tell. You are great warrior."
Best. I'm the best. Yeah. Friends, they're good too, but I'm the best. You
He
get that?
he nods, and he says, he points to the water again, and he says, "Your face are markings. Go to the pool." And he kind of like goes over with you and directs you to come over.
Okay, I'm just gonna very stringily get up and just kind of waddle my way over there, and just kind of with the same cockeyed look and look at the water.
He takes your face and he begins to wash it off with the water, and he says, "This painting of friend. This." And he begins to draw on your face with more paint. And I'm going to do a very
Okay.
very bad drawing.
Look, I can't draw anything, so don't feel bad. I can't
Get
draw.
ready for that.
Oh, I love his chin already. It's great.
Yes.
Da,
Chisel.
da, da, da. Okay, so
Mm-hmm.
he draws something like this with now you're technically green. That should be green.
I know.
But I'm going to reverse this. Actually, he has like red paint, and what he does is he starts at the base of your eye
Mm-hmm.
and goes down like that on each side, and then draws a little shape like that on top. And he says, "This is the painting of a warrior. Keep you safe in battle. Wear it whenever you have great need. And my people will be with you."
I'd like to think that it comes down more dagger-like, a little more elaborate, and the arch over the
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
forehead is a little more
I am
elaborate.
horrible drawer, but yes.
No,
This is the
I'm
big
imagining what it
concept,
would really look like. Yeah. Okay. I just I put my hand on the shoulder and I'm like, yes, warrior. You are a great guy. I don't know about warrior, but great guy.
He nods. He says, "Yes, yes, I am. Gift from my people." And he hands you a flagon of the drink that you've been drinking that night.
Oh God, no, I can't drink it anymore.
He goes, "No, take with you.
Oh.
Your friends will worry. It is morning."
Dude. Oh, you were great. You guys, I point around. I don't even know if anybody's even there. You guys, okay? You guys are the best thing that's happened to me since I got here. Okay? You people are real. You understand me? Y'all are real. All right? There ain't no fakes up above.
Real. He looks a little confused.
I'm
Very
like,
real.
look, it doesn't matter. I'm gonna tell my I'm okay. I tell nobody.
He looks very, very stern. "You speak of this to no one."
Nope. And I put my hand over my mouth and mm-mm.
And then he nods. And then he clasps you on the shoulder and walks about 10 paces over to the others and falls unconscious.
I'm pretty much thinking I might follow suit. But that's up to you. But I would like to think that.
No, that's up to
now.
you.
Oh, it is? Okay.
Okay.
I'm gonna,
Okay. Hang on.
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
So you no, go ahead. Finish.
No, I was gonna sit down against the wall, or a rock or some comfortable spot,
Mm-hmm.
and then hold the flask like it's a baby.
Got it.
And I'm just gonna.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. And I'm just gonna stare off into space until eventually I just pass out.
Got it.
Yeah.
So about 8 hours later,
Uh-huh.
you're woken up by the same man, and he says, "You still here? But I gave great goodbye speech and everything."
Wait, what?
Oh, you're overstaying. You're welcome, you ass. That's what he's trying to say.
Oh, let me just get my head together here. Okay. Gather my stuff, and
he stops you and he goes, "No, I must give goodbye speech again. Custom must be better now." And then he like pauses for an uncomfortable amount of time.
While
as-
he's doing that, is there any water leaking out of any walls or anything like that, or any stream that's going on or something like that? Any type of water flowing?
Not flowing water, not this far down, no.
All right, I'm gonna listen, but I'm still looking around.
All right. After a few minutes, he goes, "Okay, try this. You are only foreigner to stay with us for whole night. You are friend, and where you go, our spirit goes with you. When you're in battle, Speak our name, and the strength of our ancestors will be yours. Speak, Utu.
Oh, two. Utu.
And then you hear him like mumbling, like in a language you don't understand, but the tone is kind of like doubtful, like he's mumbling to himself. And then he looks and goes, "Good speech. Go now. Friends miss you."
Okay. I just look around again, in my head. Oh my god. I can just find water. All right. I just get my stuff together, and I go over to him, and I put my arm out, and I motion for him to do the same thing.
He does the same thing hesitantly.
I put my hand around his wrist and give him like that Native American, you know what I'm saying? Like that handshake, you know what I'm saying? Or like a Roman handshake.
Oh yeah. With the grasped forearms.
Yeah, and do that, and just hold it firm, and then nod, and then let it go, and then I'll leave.
Okay. You're able to find your way back fairly well. You had a rope already attached, so you can climb it back up. Give me a climb check though, because it is a good 50 feet or so.
Oh, goody. Okay.
And make it harder by 5 because you have a hangover.
Yeah, so it would be okay. All right, here we go. The moment of truth, ladies and gentlemen.
Well done.
That's a D20.
No.
Well
hit the
done
wrong button.
indeed.
I hit the wrong button. All right, I still managed.
Shenanigans.
Yeah. So you're able to make it back up and out of the cave and to the island. You see that it's about mid-afternoon. I'm gonna skip real quick over to the others. So everyone else, you got back around midnight. Is it safe to say you guys went to sleep or whatnot?
Yes. Lucas would most likely actually check with the one person that he knows is still awake and part of the staff and ask if there's any more need of help.
No, he'll say no. From everything I heard, you did an excellent job. In fact, I believe management is preparing some sort of gift for you, but I don't know what the details are. But no, you did everything we could have asked for.
I hope Sarah shows up. Xavier says. She
He
cleans
says,
up real nice.
he nods. He goes, "Sarah's actually sleeping. She's going to be out for a few hours, and then of course she has the rest of the evening off and recover for her shift tomorrow."
Yay, Xavier says as he stumbles off to his room.
All right.
So he's actually going to pull him aside and go, yeah, what was I supposed to do? I got kind of a vague instruction. How was I supposed to end it?
The staff member?
Yeah, that's what he's talking to. Yes.
Right. Okay. He's like, sir, I run the front desk. I don't really handle the evening's entertainment. I just heard that you did a good job.
So he goes, oh, you were also really good at it. I didn't suspect you at all of being part of the ruse.
He looks confused. Thank you, sir.
He then like steps back like carefully and goes, yes, thank you for your services. You were great, and starts running away.
Oh my god.
Okay. Isaac, what do you do?
Well, when they get back there at midnight, he's just gonna go straight to his room. Actually, question, is there a gift shop open at midnight?
No, not at midnight.
Okay, is room service open?
Yes, definitely.
Okay. Do they have booze?
Yes. Like 28/7.
What? You mean
So much
24/7?
And
No,
Okay.
no, so much booze.
Okay. Then he's going to order some booze and a steak.
Okay.
Actually, 2 steaks and a lobster.
Got it.
Because he was not satisfied with the meal that he had on the cruise.
I understand. So you guys sleep, and the next day you can describe if you want what you do, but I will say that it hits about 2 in the afternoon. No Talavac.
Well, Isaac's spending most of the day in his room, so
Well,
no Isaac
Xavier
either.
will notice, obviously. And in the morning, he'll knock on Lucas's door.
Wizard.
Housekeeping, Xavier says
Oh,
sarcastically.
hell yeah. Come on in.
Xavier's gonna open up the door. No, it's actually me.
Son of a... Yeah, okay,
Yeah.
yes.
Anyway, did Talavac tell you where he was gonna go last night? Because he hasn't shown up. He must be having one hell of a time.
Now that you mentioned, no. Neither did Isaac. Have you seen Isaac?
Oh, no, I was gonna go to his room next though. I knocked on Talavac's door already. He's not opening. So he's either in there, passed out, which is possible. But I was just wondering. I was gonna get myself something to eat for breakfast. So I thought I'd pass by and ask you.
I would love breakfast.
Oh, Xavier says, regretting that he didn't word that like it sounded like an invitation. Great, let's go. Let's have breakfast, Lucas. Or should I say, Inspector Puree?
You remembered.
I did. It's a miracle because I'm normally shit with names.
Yes, let's go. As he rolls up the parchment that he's been looking at on the floor back into his pocket,
Okay.
and off he goes.
And as they walk to get something to eat, I'm just saying with Xavier being like, it's a resort, right? Talavac couldn't get in too much trouble by himself in one night.
Should we ask if Isaac wants to come?
Oh, yeah, sure. Xavier says they'll knock on Isaac's door.
After a lot of moaning and grunting, until he'll answer the door with sunglasses on, all the blinds are closed, and
Morning
he has no
sunshine.
shirt on.
Hot.
You lot. Listen, calm down, Lucas. Xavier says, listen,
gonna
you
calm
gotta,
down.
for a law dog, I'd assume that you'd be able to handle your booze a little bit better. But here's a free tip, Xavier says in a hushed voice. If you drink often enough, your body gets a tolerance. Anyway, we're about to have breakfast. You look like you probably couldn't stand the light of day. But have you seen Talavac, or did he tell you where he was going last night? I've been knocking on his
No.
door and no answer.
I don't know where he is. Here. I don't know how to dispose of these, and he's gonna start bringing out.
If you give me used condoms, I'm gonna punch you. So.
No, he's gonna bring out empty bottles. He starts just shoving them in your direction. 1, 3, 5 empty, full bottles of booze.
Xavier looks unimpressed. Do I look like a bartender to you?
Lucas
know where
will
to
try
put
to
these.
juggle them.
Yeah, I'm gonna give them to Lucas. Likes them. I'm gonna pass as Isaac passes it to Xavier. Xavier's gonna just pass it to Lucas.
So-
because he seems really excited.
I don't know how to describe them, but they are basically, you know, Costco, right? You know those bottles of booze at Costco, the big, huge
Oh.
ones with the handles? Yeah, 5 of those.
We know Costco.
Yeah,
We have stories about Costco.
yeah.
Yeah. Do you have any sort of skill at juggling?
I have a skill called juggling. Does that count?
Yes.
I don't know.
It's close
That's
enough
right,
that I
sell it.
will allow it.
Sell it to me, Piph.
Well,
Roll me a juggling skill.
This is
Oh, boy.
amazing. I love you, Rifts. Oh, we're gonna make a mess. More specifically, Lucas is gonna make a mess.
Oh my god.
Out in
You know what?
out
You know
in the
what? You know what?
hall.
I will actually, in a rare occasion, throw this into you and let you decide exactly what
sweet.
this means.
Basically, each time he gets handed one ball, he starts flipping it around in his hand. He goes, "Oh, that's pretty." And the second one gets handed to him. He starts passing it back and forth a bit, kind of wobbly. And the third one comes into his hands. He's like, "Oh, I got this," and starting to juggle. One immediately flings up, hits the doorway, and crashes on the floor, splintering everywhere. Another ball gets handed to him, and he does that immediately afterwards. Like, "I got this. Give me another one."
No, Xavier is very hesitant to do so, but he does so anyway.
As a second one that, like, while you're so hesitant, like, I'm not quite sure if I should do this, he's still just throwing up two of them. One of them immediately freaking smashes on the ceiling.
Okay, now I know
Isaac
for sure
will
I'm not
turn
gonna do it
around.
anymore.
Isaac will turn around and head to the phone and call for housekeeping.
And while Isaac does that, Xavier turns to Lucas and says, "Run!" He's gonna
He
start
leaves the
booking it
bottle
down
that he
the hallway.
flung up to the air and it crashes the floor.
Oh my god.
Okay.
Best vacation ever. That's a nice little bonding moment. I like that.
As you
I have a scene
wait,
for... Oh, go ahead.
as you run away, you hear Isaac saying, "No, I'm serious. I didn't break the bottles. They just fell. I don't even. I need help."
Help! Help! Bottles.
All right, I have a scene for you two, but real quick, I'd like to jump over to Televac. Televac,
Yes, sir.
what would you like to do? Do you want to start heading back? Do you want to keep exploring? It has been about 24 hours since you've left.
Yeah, I want to go back to my room. I got to check on my little Twiggy.
Got it. The ship is still waiting for you. You can get back to the spearfishing village, and they will, of course, bring a ship to take you back to the hotel. Most of them don't get too close to you, though, as it's pretty clear to tell from their faces that you smell like...
I should be. I'm on vacation.
Yeah, you smell like booze and sleeping in a cave for a night. You don't smell the prettiest.
Good.
And your clothes are rather disheveled, as you know you've been spelunking and trekking through a jungle and all that.
Remember those fucks earlier you gave to Piph? Well, I'm not going to give any back. So.
You're able to get back to the hotel though. And the reception you get from customer and staff alike is one of confused distance. Like they look at you and they're like, "Whoa."
Wait a minute.
Once or twice. Is that like a new entertainment thing?
Wait, I look at it. I look around and see if there's a mirror. Oh.
Yep, there's plenty of mirrors and pools and stuff. You don't look that you.
No, I'm just saying.
Oh, go ahead.
No, I'm just saying. It's like I look at a mirror and I'm like, I didn't take this makeup off.
Nope. You look like your clothes are disheveled. You look a bit dirty, covered in dirt and dust and grime. And you've got war paint in red on your face.
What the hell was that? Hello?
What? Could you not hear me?
Yeah, I got a small advertisement in my thing, like a little commercial.
Oh no, that was actually me acting out. No.
Wait,
No,
what
that-
program was their commercial?
Oh, you sent that, Vern?
Yeah, that was just a thing in
Oh.
Discord.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I'm freaking out.
No, that I was just describing. That's what they look like. I'm
Oh,
sorry.
okay. Okay. I thought this thing had
You ruined
random
everything.
ads in it.
No.
Okay, yeah, you ruined everything, Vern. Never mind.
No.
No, it's cool.
Yeah. So you're still wearing
poor
the
Brown.
war paint.
Mhm.
And you're disheveled. Do you head back to your room?
Yes, go back to my room and try to avoid the light as much as possible.
So, wait a second. You get to the hallway with your room, and you see Isaac talking, gesturing wildly to housekeeping, who's nodding their head and cleaning up broken glass. Isaac, you see a very disheveled and dirty-looking Talavac with some sort of weird paint on his face, and you can smell booze from here.
Well, he can smell booze from here too.
Yeah.
He'll just look over.
And your
Booze buddies.
actually the expressions on your faces are about the same. Harsh daylight hurts you.
Yes, Isaac has sunglasses on and a hat indoors.
Is my room before them or after them in the hallway?
You'd have to pass Isaac, I believe.
All right, I just pass by, head still down, kind of look over to him.
Isaac just
Too, huh?
waves and
Shame.
goes, "Rough night, eh?"
We'll talk about it later.
Yeah. No, don't miss. There's a shard there. Don't forget the glass.
Maybe if you wouldn't break your bottles on the floor.
It wasn't me. You'll never.
I'm sorry,
believe
sir.
me.
I'm sorry.
There's a
sir.
clown and a smuggler. He did it.
No, he says in a more loud voice. I'm sorry, sir. Did you say something? Like this housekeeping attendant is very polite. When he thinks you're not listening, he's talking to himself.
Listen, if I didn't have a pounding headache, I would. I don't know what I would do. Just
Yes, sir. Very good, sir. Will that be all, sir?
did you get all the glass?
Yes, sir.
Then you're good. Go away.
Thank you, sir. He leaves.
Wow.
And as he's leaving, Isaac will say fairly loud, "Rude prick," and closes the door.
Isaac's gonna get kicked out.
So I'm going to jump back to Lucas and Xavier. You guys go to one of the closer restaurants. I
Great.
assume, right?
Yes.
Okay.
What are these serving?
Well, actually, when you get there,
Uh-huh.
one of the maitre d' says, "Oh, if I understand correctly, you're from rooms," and I forget what your rooms were, but he says your room number and said you were a part of last night's entertainment on the yacht, I believe.
Luke goes, "Yes, you heard. It's fantastic."
Yes.
Xavier is not as enthusiastic, but he does nod in confirmation.
He says, I received word from the owner of the hotel that in a token of gratitude, if you would like, you're welcome to eat in the employee area where it is much less noisy.
Lucas looks over to, excuse me,
Mhm.
Xavier,
Uh-huh.
and says, "Try anything once."
Yeah, sure, why not? Xavier says, "All right, we'll take you up on your offer."
Okay. He leads you back through the restaurant to a sectioned off room. That's actually quite nice. It's quite lavish. It's very clear that the employees of this hotel aren't shifted, and it's completely empty except for one person.
Let me
You
guess.
You see
Is it
in
our lovers?
gray. Is it what?
Our lovers. Both Lucas and I had her as a lover, even if it was fake.
Yes, you see in gray sweatpants
gonna be
with hair up in a bun. You see Sarah eating enough food for two people, and she is not delicate about it. She is shoveling food down her throat. She'll stop, belch loudly, and then keep going.
Okay. See, she's not nearly as attractive now. I'm over it. All right.
And then she looks up and she says, "Oh, hey guys."
Hey,
Lucas
Sarah.
waves like a small child.
Well, you can go play with your friend, Lucas.
Yeah.
She swallows and she kind of hits her chest a few times and goes, how'd the evening end? I heard it was spectacular, but obviously I didn't get to see it.
It was absolutely flawless. In fact, many people said that this was the best they have ever seen, better than the previous year, better than the previous year before that. We knocked their socks off, Xavier says, as, completely overselling the reaction.
She waves her hand. She says, "Oh, they always say that, but the staff said something fairly similar, and that's impressive."
Xavier doesn't like her.
She starts munching on her breadstick, looking at Xavier with like a smoldering look. How's the feet?
Good. How's your waistline, Xavier says?
Damn, Xavier's catty today. Sheesh.
She raises an eyebrow and then goes, "Touche."
So now, with all that playful ribbing aside, Xavier says, giving a forgiving smile, "What's good to eat?"
Oh gosh. Well, is this breakfast or lunch?
Lucas, what is this?
It's 2, good sir. 2 o'clock in the evening. Lunchtime is at noon. Have it as a brunch.
So the answer to your question is yes.
She nods and she says, "Well, then I guess you need to get a little bit of everything. Just order the
Okay.
sampler."
That sounds
Okie dokie. We ordered the sampler.
You are brought to what's brought to your table is a huge platter. A lot of restaurants, they have a thing on the menu that's called the sampler, which is basically a little bit of 3 or 4 different dishes. The sampler at this
Squee?
restaurant. Can you not hear me?
No, well, you cut out there. After
Oh.
the first time you said sampler, then there was a big pause there.
Oh, okay.
There wasn't for me.
So,
Oh.
well, I'll also say it again. No problem.
Yeah.
Most restaurants, their sampler is like a little bit from 3 or 4 of their dishes. This platter is a little bit of literally everything on the menu.
Oh my.
It's every appetizer, every side dish, every entree, just a little bit, like a few mouthfuls of everything on the menu, which is quite a lot of food.
Yes, I would
Oh
imagine.
man, Xavier's gonna have to watch his waistline after this. But you know what? We're on vacation. We're on vacation.
And with that, if you guys don't mind, I can pull back a bit narratively here.
Okay.
And we can move things along as fast or slow as you want. You're on
Love
of your 7 days. You're basically in the middle of your 5th day, which means that you have about 2. I'd say 1 full day left. 1 most of the day. Your last day there, you leave in the evening. So you've got about half a day, a full day, and most of the last day. You guys are welcome to do anything you'd like. I'm pulling back narratively so that you can go as fast or slow as you would like to.
The only major thing that Xavier want to do for the next 2 days, other than his normal plan, which is that lovely blue and white striped chair and the drinks that just keep coming and the sun that beams down on his face, is that in the evenings he is going to want to do a little bit of gambling. I'd be down with just rolling a couple dice to determine Xavier's luck and be done with that, if that's fine by you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, go ahead and roll me a luck check.
Well, I should probably tell you how much I'm willing to bet off the get-go, right?
Sure.
To be fair, so if I roll really shit, I'd be like, yeah, I only spent 100 credits. And you'd be like, wait a second.
We're not check.
You liar. So let me just open up my group loot just to see how much hog wild I want to get. How hoggy wild. I have lots. Oh, I have 14 million credits. That's right. I barely spent anything so far. Let's be a high roller. I'm going to spend 1 million credits in gambling. Over the
Okay.
next 2 months.
So over the course of the 2 days, you start off at the regular tables, and with the amount of money that you are betting,
Yeah.
winning and losing, you by the end of the 6th day, you are set up like like a king in that casino. Like, I don't know if you guys have ever actually been to a casino like in Las Vegas, but when you start betting
Yeah, I've heard
lots of
about
money,
high rollers.
yeah, they start comping things. They start giving you
Because they want
drinks
you
left
to
and
stay
right.
at the table to keep
Exactly.
playing.
You're
Yeah,
a
they want to make
whale.
you happy.
And now they don't comp anything because everything here is already comp, but that doesn't mean that they don't wait on you hand and foot.
This is perfect. Even if I lose all my money, Xavier likes the attention.
So,
I like the attention.
well, first things first. Are you planning on using any sort of methods that might be considered underhanded or anything like that? Or are you just going
Am
for
I
fun
going
gambling?
to cheat?
I didn't
No,
say
I'm
that.
not going to cheat. I don't want to throw out anything. You know, I could use palming, to palm, a chip here or there, or steal from someone or whatever, right? But no, Xavier's having a good time. Actually, despite his earlier rage about the kidnapping, that wasn't a kidnapping. It's been a pretty darn good vacation. So he's going to do this honest. Nothing but his wits and skill and a bunch of comped drinks and attention from morally scandalous ladies.
I need you to roll me 2 dice.
I like that idea too. Can I get a manicure while gambling?
Yeah,
All right.
you can.
Which dice shall I
Certainly.
roll? D20s,
I need you to roll a
D100s?
D20 and a D100. Roll the D20
Okay.
first, and then the D100.
Don't tell me what is good.
I am not going to tell you what's what.
Okay. I was gonna roll 20, and I'm like, that makes no sense. And then that. I hope low and high is good.
Well, it's a good thing you're
Lols,
treated
it's
like
not.
a king because
Yeah.
you ended up losing 740,000 credits
Oh, that's not too bad.
overall. Now, it's not like it was nothing but losses. At one point, you were up quite a bit, but over the course of the 2 days, you ended up being down by about 740,000 credits.
All right. That's okay. I still have 13,360,000.
And
That was
an
well worth.
amazing pedicure.
God damn right I do.
All right.
Can I have them feed me grapes while I'm gambling?
Yes, actually. I'm sorry. For 740,000 credits, I will fly to Canada and feed you grapes.
I will take this under consideration.
And I'll give the manicure. And I'll give.
No,
if I win the
yes.
lottery, the
Like,
next
when
session is going to be live broadcasted from my grape room.
When I say that they were waiting on you hand and foot, I truly mean it. They would have fed you grapes if you
Sweet.
asked.
Then I want a pedicure too, along with the manicure, since it's going to be hand and foot.
Ooh.
Yeah, that's right. You grown. All right. Anyway, I'm done.
So I gotta
done.
draw lines. No, all right. So all right. The other characters. What do you guys do during these 3-ish days?
Oh, you can go ahead. I'm still thinking.
Well, mine is really easy. He's gonna spend the rest of the vacation in his room.
Okay, I would say on the evening of the 6th day, you're gonna get a knock on your door.
Yeah. He'll
Yeah.
open it.
Oh,
Still
I was like,
has
yeah, you do.
sunglasses on. Still has a hat on.
Is he still reeking of alcohol?
Yes. Well, not
Rebith is
not
there.
not as reeky.
Okay. So tipsy maybe, but not sloshed.
Yeah.
Okay. Rebith is there, and she's dressed rather nicely, and she says, "Oh, hello.
Hi.
Look, I think I was really angry, and I said some things I didn't mean. I still think it was an incredibly mean thing, but I lied. You do know how to give a girl a good time. And I just felt that I should apologize."
Thank you.
She nods, and then she says, "Well, anyway, and she's just kind of sitting there or standing there, looking at her feet.
Wait, hold on. And he's going to walk away from the door and go to the side table. And she's gonna hear it open then close again. And he's gonna go to the door and hand her the bracelet back.
Give me a second. I gotta think about something here. And when I say think, I mean roll a die.
Haha.
Kissy face. Kissy face. Kissy. Oh, never mind. No one's gonna join me in my chant. Then fuck you.
He actually looks at it and looks at you and then says, you know, no. And then she hands it back to you. And then she says, if you want to give it back to me, come by my father's manor sometime. I'll accept it then.
Okay.
And then she leaves a slip of paper in your hand, which has a simple address on it, which is it's a planet you've never heard of, but it's certainly a planet. Give me a second. I'll write it down for you.
Interesting that it's a planet for somebody that's born and raised in Center,
Mhm.
right? Huh.
Well, not many oil baron manors on Center.
Well, yeah, that is true. Neat.
Hang on. Oops. There, that's what the sheet of paper says.
Gotcha. I will write that down. And we might go there in the future, but out of character. We're going to be spending like a week on Center and then off somewhere in the universe. So I don't know if that's going to happen. for a while.
Somewhere in the universe.
Yeah.
You
I'm
know
going
what?
back to
I think
Earth.
that's like the only safe thing you can say about Riss is you'll be somewhere in the universe.
Somewhere. If you were home, if you lived here, you'd be home by now.
He will
and with
make it clear
Mhm.
to her that it might take a while. But he will try and stop by.
She nods.
Yeah.
And she smiles a little, and then she walks away.
Okay.
So there's that. All right, Lucas,
Yo,
what do you do during this time?
shoot, I'm gonna live it up in my room looking at a scroll. taking notes, mumbling about things, waving my hands in the air. It's gonna be great.
You guys don't know how to vacation.
Okay. And Talavac.
All right. I am going to, first of all, spend some time with Twiggy. I know she's probably missed me.
Mm-hmm.
And after that, I'm going to go to one of the spas, and I'm going to get into some mud and detox and fill my body full of non-alcoholic liquid.
Got it.
And I'm just going to get myself back in order and then just take it easy for the rest of the few days.
Okay.
Mm.
Okay. So is it fair to say that everyone's pretty okay kind of moving on to the end of the vacation?
Mm-hmm.
Is there anything else anyone wants to do?
I'm good.
No.
I'm good. No, you can move things along. It's okay. You've
Okay.
given us ample opportunity.
All right then. So the evening that you guys check out, you check out of your rooms, and it's always kind of a tradition there that you leave during the sunset because the sunsets here are very beautiful, and of course they they plan everything so that you're on the ferry ride back during sunset. While you guys are on the ferry, you'll hear a voice behind you. You know, they do that on purpose so that your last memory is one of beauty, so you come back later.
Is it you, Squee? I can recognize your voice.
No,
Hello.
behind you is Sarah in civilianish clothes. She's not in uniform. She's not in fancy dress. She's in fairly normal clothes for not a rich person, but for an average person. She's wearing jeans like slack type jeans and a nice but not fancy blouse, and she has her hair done in a braid.
So I got a quick out of character question, if that's
Mhm.
okay, Squee.
Sure.
So while we are departing the resort, we're going to be going immediately back through center, right?
Correct.
Which means we're going back through that security check, right?
Correct.
So Xavier's not going to be Xavier at this point. He'll know this ahead of time, and once again, put on his face for his diplomat. Give me a moment here. I have the name. Whatever, my diplomat face. I'll get the name later. So I'm going to, with the scarf, around my forehead, the whole shebang, right? So I'm not going to acknowledge her, so I don't give off my cover.
Right.
And in addition, I want to make sure that before we left, I would have stored Talavac, I believe it was lockpicking tools in my diplomatic attaché,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yes.
Make sure that's all nice and safe. So, unfortunately, or fortunately for Sarah, Xavier will not be interacting with her.
Is he within earshot or?
Yeah, he'll be within
Okay.
earshot for sure.
All right. She's mostly talking to Isaac and Lucas because she knows Talavac, of course, but she didn't really spend much time with Talavac.
There
so,
we go.
she'll
Carrie
politely
Caldwell.
nod.
Sorry,
Yeah.
completely interrupted you.
No, it's fine. She'll politely nod to Talavac, and she won't, know who Xavier is. So, but she'll say that to Lucas and Isaac, and she'll go, "Oh, almost forgot. Sorry, I was busy packing. I'm supposed to give this to you guys and your friend, wherever he is.
I can give it to him.
They're free passes for one week stay, to be used at no time sooner than a year from now and no time later than 5, as a thank you for services rendered."
Cool.
Well, shoot. It's very kind of them.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
She nods. She goes, "Well, and part of it is too that theoretically we did make you think that we were kidnapping people, so."
There is that. Huh. Looks at the
Xavier bites his tongue.
And she goes, "Well, anyway, it's been an absolute pleasure working for you guys, and I suppose once we all get through security, you'll head your way, I'll head mine, and it's been fun."
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I'm sure we'll see each other again sometime.
She kind of shrugs and she goes, "Well, I don't know. I gotta head back home. Mom hasn't called in about a month, and well, that's unusual. And when you live in the lower levels of center, it's always best to be sure she's not stuck in an alley somewhere."
So you're gonna be at center for a while?
She shrugs. She goes, "Well, if I'm not at work, I'm usually at home, which, yeah, that's center."
Mm. Well, we're gonna be stuck on center for at least another week. So, if you need help with something, just let me know. I'd be willing to help.
Yeah, shoot.
That's very kind of you. Most people don't consider the lower levels of center a tourist attraction. All things considered, I'll probably find my mom boozed out behind a building somewhere, and I'll just take her home. daughters, she says with a shrug.
Hmm.
But I'll keep that in mind.
Okay.
Yeah, let's see. Where would be a good place to contact? Lucas thinks for a moment. I'm just trying to think. Did I throw away that phone, or do I still have that?
With the phone with that Ambassador Bush used to call the woman.
Yeah.
Yes.
You never actually said you threw it away. It was not. You never had like a breakup moment where you flung the phone.
Well, either way, I'm giving her Isaac's email address, so there's a thing.
Cool.
Okay. She'll nod. She'll say, "I'll keep it in mind." You mind if I ask a somewhat personal question?
Hmm.
You guys aren't used to having a lot of money, are you? You're not like the people that normally come here.
No, not really. I mean, we just
Xavier thinks back of spending $700,000.
Yeah, I was gonna say, she actually says, I mean, you obviously do have it. Good Lord, your friend just the tips he left in that casino. But
it was only 700 grand. It's fine.
She
Everyone loves me. Shut up.
chokes.
Like-
she literally chokes.
Like I mentioned, we
Only?
did a deal with God, I can never remember his name. Lucas, do you remember?
Draxus.
There you go, him.
How am
Yeah.
I remembering all these names? Where am I?
No,
Who am I?
Dioxin.
No, that
Wrong
was in
campaign.
character because Isaac can never remember.
Yeah, I
Thraxus.
was actually gonna ask, did the diplomat just say
Oh no, I thought it was out of character.
No,
it's
that
fine,
was
it's
in
fine.
Diplomat
character.
doesn't say anything.
You actually have
Garrett
the
Caldwell is being quiet.
You actually have the total recall psionic. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't have that yet. maybe next level. But he's gonna try and remember. He's still slightly hungover, and then Lucas, do you say something?
Oh, he would probably go, it's just some bigwig we did some business with.
Three guy? I can't remember his name.
Xavier is screaming internally.
Some
He nods
big
slowly.
wig that's supposed to be in like charge of center or something. He's the one that
Oh.
gave us the passes.
Oh.
Thraxus, that guy, him. So
What? She says. All right, you said some big guy. You didn't say the big guy.
They're all big.
wait,
She shrugs.
I
Well, I
told
wouldn't know.
I told you that in Dude Man's room when I was fixing his ankle.
Love dude, man.
She glances at Talavac quickly and she says, "Well, hopefully you'll forgive me if I had other things to focus on during that conversation."
I think she's hitting on you. Talbot.
Oh.
I'm such an asshole.
But yeah, like
Oh,
we did a job with him, got a bunch of cash, did this. Then we're upgrading our ship and getting the hell out of here. I don't know where
She
we'll go.
nods. She goes, "Well, all I can say is I wish there were more rich people like you guys. It's the most fun I've had at work in a long time. It's
Hmm.
usually so boring." Well, there is that one guy making long distance calls. But other than that, in any case, you guys take care. And she kind of like she holds the email address in one hand, kind of flicks it against her hand in the other. And goes, "I'll keep this in case I need
She's
it."
stalling.
I'm leaving.
Actually, no. After she said that, she says, "I'll keep this in case I need it." And then she'll give Lucas a hug and Isaac a hug
Mhm.
and extend a hand to Talavac.
Why does everybody keep bothering me?
And then she'll whistle
This is why you don't
and,
get a hug.
and pull her hand back and spin on her heel and walk off.
And scene.
So you guys head back to center. Security is surprisingly light. Most people don't expect you to be smuggling things back from a pleasure planet. I just realized the sentence I made makes no sense, but you understand what I mean.
There's all
Sure.
sorts of things. Like locals. I could have a person in my case. You're coming with that. Sarah.
Back through security, you're on center.
Mm-hmm.
What would you like to do?
I know what I like to do.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. The Robot Jocks Tournament.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, we said we do that after vacation. Yeah,
Yep.
okay.
Okay.
Yep.
Well, we can handle things a bit narratively then. If you check on Hart, you'll find her busy. So when you left her, she was supposed to be overseeing the retrofit of the ship and the repairs. When you find her, she has pretty much kicked out the mechanics and has started using their equipment to do it herself. She'll mention something about silly no talent hack doesn't know how to get work done.
Are you
tell him?
Are you gonna need some help, Hart?
Nope. She seems happy as a lark.
Okay. Did you end up getting one of those sphere things for me? Or
The what now?
out of character, remember
Sure.
the telemechanics orb that
Yeah, I
has
know.
no real purpose. Oh, you know that.
No.
Okay.
I out of character. I know.
Okay.
Yeah.
Isaac will go the thing with your brain and I'm hungover. Telemechanics.
Solemnly.
That thing.
Oh, the orb.
Yeah. With no purpose, but actually kind of has a purpose.
She goes, nope, didn't think about it.
Okay. I was just wondering.
And then as like your head's down, she whistles at you to get your attention and then tosses you a new shiny orb.
Sweet.
She goes, come on. You don't think I really would have forgotten, do you?
Well, I mean, you're fixing up the ship. You could have been focusing on that. So there is that.
She looks at you and then her eyes widen. She goes, oh, the ship! And she starts running back.
Yeah, I figured. I am going to check up on Quicksilver, make sure he's doing okay.
He's watching Wishbone again.
How many? That's like the 6th time now?
He's starting to wear out the digital copies.
How?
Yeah.
How?
That's impossible, Xavier says.
But okay, I'll leave you to it. So then that's it for me. The only thing that Isaac is gonna do that evening is kind of try and lay off the booze. Go and rent a hotel room in the Swanky Swank place that we did before. And for basically the entire week that they're there, unless he's needed, he's going to just focus on using the telemechanics orb. But he will be free to do whatever. You just need to reach out to him.
God reaches out.
I think he meant us, God.
I know,
Yeah.
but the image was funny. Okay. So okay, let's say this before we jump into a robot gladiator thing. Is there anything else anyone would want to do?
How many days till the robot thing?
Excuse me. I'd say you'd have about 2 days or so.
Xavier is going to pipe up something once they break through of the gate. They're back on center itself, and he can shift back to his regular face.
Mm-hmm.
Well, one of his regular faces, I might say. Xavier will say, Sarah, I was thinking, if the bottom areas of the center are dangerous and she's concerned about her mother, I don't know about you guys, but I had a pretty fun time at Flanders Paradise, didn't you?
Of course.
Okay. And we managed to score already some free tickets to go there again, right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
And
No.
Sarah's. Hold up a second. Let me finish my suggestion first before you shoot it down there, Mr. Pleasant. Xavier will say to Talak. If something, listen, if something has happened or might happen to her mother, and we're the ones that prevent it, we might be able to get to Flanders Paradise a lot more often than usual. You know what I mean? She's clearly a higher up staff member, right? She probably would be pretty grateful. It might be advantageous, but on the other hand, from what I was able to overhear, she says that this is probably a pretty common occurrence. Just wondering if you guys are interested in checking up on that or not.
Lucas thinks for a second. I'm not quite sure if I really want to pry like that.
Yeah, good point. That's just me. I just see opportunity. Which reminds me, there's a certain accountant that I'm going to want to touch base with while we're here on center as well, since I definitely helped him out with his little conundrum. You know, since we have all this money, putting it all into a Black Metal Works account works well enough. But I think if we're going to be really successful, eventually we're going to want to be able to hide money or tuck it away for a rainy day in case of an emergency. Don't you guys think?
Yeah, I can agree on
Oh,
that.
yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And so being friends with accountant would not be that bad. So if it's all right with you guys, I won't sign anything without your consent. But while we're here in center for the next week or so, I wouldn't mind passing by and talking with him. I could just talk with him myself and ask some questions of him, right? See if he can't help us out with that goal of ours.
Yeah, could be a thing.
Okay.
I need some information out of character, Squee, about the
Sure.
world.
Sure.
Does Center have a stock market?
I would assume it does. Yeah. Yeah.
Could we
Unless they're all a bunch
potentially
of space communists.
could we potentially invest in something?
Comrade.
Ooh, playing the market.
Yes, you could. I'd keep it very simple, but yes.
So we could devote like a portion of the group funds that we have right now to like the stock market and get a return every month.
How
Yes,
about
you-
this? We start our own business called Black Metal Works, and we invest in our own company. And the better we do, the more money we make.
What?
We make our own company. We make
That-
our own company, get it publicly traded.
I honestly have no idea how that works, but
I know
sure.
a little bit how that works, but no. I was just throwing that out there. But investment might be a really good idea too. That's another thing this accountant might know.
Yeah.
Sure. Okay. Real quick. Bad GM faux pas, but what accountant for the life of me? I cannot remember an accountant.
You
right
remember
now.
at the beginning of the Flanders Paradise, the guy that was an accountant, that
Oh,
complained.
And he got ripped off from that dealer,
The guy
and
that
we
got ripped off from the
Yeah.
car dealer. Okay.
Yeah.
I was like, my memory was searching back to center, and I'm like,
No.
Yes. Okay.
He did say that
Okay.
he was
Yes,
in center
I'm
and
with ya.
gave his card, if I recall
Yes.
correctly, to Xavier.
Yes, he did.
He sure
Yes.
did.
So I am on board now. I am sorry, but I am totally on board now. Okay. Sure. So yes, out of character, there is a stock market. I'd keep it simple, but I think I already have a good idea of what I could do if you guys wanted to go that route. But as you said, you could certainly talk to the accountant.
Okay. So now that I have the group's blessing with that, and we're not interested in prying in Sarah's personal business, I'm done with my talky talk.
All right. Lucas, what are you gonna do for like the 2 days or so?
He's going to keep in contact with Isaac for the most part, just checking up to see if there is any need. But besides that, he's most likely going to just finish off his spell that he's oh so close on perfecting.
Okay. All right. Easy enough. So then, what we'll do is, well, first let's have the conversation with the accountant. You would find him. The card takes you to an accounting firm on the top level in the manors of center. Oh gosh, I should move you guys back to center.
Tired
You're
of looking
not
all like
in
paradise.
anymore.
There we
Yeah,
go.
yeah. So he's on level 1. It's a very big building, and you could show the card, and they direct you over to him. And he has a giant office with a beautiful view. He's wearing a suit and a tie, and he looks up from his desk, and he goes, "Oh, you? I'm sorry, I forgot your name."
He's talking
Inferno?
to Talabac, right? Or
No, he's
Vern?
talking to Xavier.
What? Oh shit! I'm sorry. I totally fucking flaked out there for a moment. We're doing the accountant thing now?
Yes, yeah.
Oh shit! Okay, I'm sorry. I thought we were doing the
No, it's
robot
fine.
fight thing now.
Nah.
Xavier will smile and say, "Buckley, Phil Buckley, good to meet you. We met in Flanders Paradise. Do you recall now?"
Yes, absolutely. No, I remember you. I just flanked your name for a moment.
That's
Excellent,
okay.
excellent work done. Best vacation I've had in a while.
I'm glad.
What can I do for you?
Well, I was hoping that perhaps you'd be able to do me a small favor. I firmly believe in the benefits of networking and the little, happenstance interactions that happen. The reason why, and I like to capitalize on good fortune. And I think it was good fortune that we managed to get acquainted with each other in Flanders Paradise. And so I feel comfortable in confessing with you a small problem that I have, I and my fellow shipmates. Xavier will give a big, charming smile. Oh, what's this fellow's name on the card? I might have written it down. Give me a moment.
Yeah, give me a second. Let me look up my names list.
3 Galaxies notes. His name isn't Balin.
Nope.
It isn't Adolin.
Nope.
It's not Levine. No, I don't have his name.
Names. I forgot what I labeled Rebeth as. That's funny. All right.
Focus, Squee. Focus.
I'll poop. I didn't write his name
Just-
down either.
Yeah, just make up another name.
Yes. Paul. His name is Paul. Write it down now.
Paul. I'll put an accountant.
I have gotten much better about writing names down, but not perfect yet.
So Xavier will say, Paul, we have a serious problem. I have too much money.
He smiles. He says, "That's a very good problem to have."
Indeed. But the interesting thing about this, Paul, is that I want to keep money and I want to keep making money. So I have 2 things that I want to consult you on. Are you free to answer some questions?
Yes, actually, my schedule cleared up for about the next hour.
The first question I have for you is letting you know that our business has a lot of fluctuations, one might say. Periods where we are in a lot of money in the fat, and a lot of times where things are very lean. And I've grown accustomed to a certain standard of life, and I like to keep that. With that in mind, would you be able to recommend a secure place in which to hold some funds to ensure they can't be accessed by conventional means? An emergency nest egg, one might say, in case our company goes through some serious lean times.
Well, that's certainly something that we can set up, of course. What business are you
Fantastic.
in?
We're in shipping, more specifically precious gem acquisition.
Hmm. I see. Well, that is definitely a rising and falling market, to be sure. I can see where your
Exactly.
concerns are. Well,
And speaking of them,
yes.
no, go ahead, Paul. Go ahead.
Oh, I was simply going to say that we can certainly set you up. It depends on what you're looking for. Are you looking for more of a safe deposit thing where you put your money
Mm,
in, maybe it generates a little bit of interest, but it's nice and safe? Or are you more looking at, say, annuities or maybe stock? Are you looking to invest this?
well, that brings on to the other thing, because we do want to invest as well, have our money work for us, so to speak. But I do like this idea of a safety deposit you mentioned. Um, is to assume that absolutely nobody but ourselves, those who set up that particular account, has any access to it whatsoever?
Correct. There are 16 levels of security that would have to be gone through in order to access the funds. We have found a long time ago that many of our clients have, well, let's say, some darker habits that sometimes make them want cash quickly. And by having so many security measures, not only do we keep their money safe, but we also make it, well, to be blunt, damn inconvenient to get to unless you really need it.
I see. And this is free from any governmental interference?
Oh, we're a private firm.
Yes, but your private firm is protected. Say, for example, the Sublagorth or the CCW wants access to that safety deposit box. What would you do? What preventative measures do you have to ensure
He
that we only have access to it?
he
That you can't
smiles
be sprung on?
broadly. He smiles broadly and he says, "Well, it's a good thing you came to me then. We are a lesser known firm. Not that we do anything outside the law, but we certainly aren't connected
Of
with
course.
the government. Our uniqueness is that, let's take that scenario with the current times. It's a fair
Hmm.
one. Let's say the
Hmm.
Splagorth decide to try. Maybe their war's not
Yes.
going as well as they planned. It would be incredibly difficult to seize our assets. You see, we don't keep any of our assets here. Our assets are continuously on the move in a secure ship that has no written or logged trajectories, no way to anticipate where it is at any one moment, with the exception of our key personnel. However, we do have the ability to wirelessly connect to the ship to transfer funds as long as the proper security measures are given. So, if Isplagorth were to come here and try and strong arm me, the simple truth is I wouldn't be able to tell them anything useful because I won't know where your funds are.
Hmm. Are you a publicly traded financial institution?
Yes, we are little known, but we are public. If someone wanted to find us, they could.
Well, that is a small concern. What is to stop, say, for example, any government body or business working on behalf of the government body buying you out, owning you, and then deciding to change the policy, run that ship back in?
He smiles and he says, the truth of the matter is a bit hmm, practical, I suppose. Governments are bureaucratic. They bog things down in litigation. At worst, they might slap you with so many fines you run out of business. Some of our customers, if we were to betray them in such a way, are less gentle. I again stress that we typically don't do business with known criminals or anything
Mhm.
of that kind, but we have the fortunes of many, many people in our care. If even a government were to try to sell us out, there are enough powerful people who employ us that this would be a very unwise move for us.
Xavier will lean back on his chair and say, Paul, are you telling me that your clientele is so powerful that if anyone fucks with them, they're going to fuck them right back? There's something so devastating, no one's even going to think about messing with your financial institution.
Well, not exactly.
Oh, that's too bad, Xavier says. Because
He
that
he
sounds like something I want to get involved in.
he holds up a hand. He says, they would. When I was referring to unwise for us, I was speaking to the employees in particular. Our fates would be unpleasant if we were to lose the finances of some of the most influential people that we do business with. As for the government themselves, however, while our clients probably aren't powerful enough to rise up and punch them in the nose, they most certainly can levy any number of litigations and political trade sanctions, enough to make any government think twice, especially with war looming.
Oh, war's already here. Okay, very well. And the only other question that I have for you is, of course, investment as well. Do you run a investment portfolio?
We do, actually. We have two options for you. If you are knowledgeable about investments and stocks, you're able to manage your own
Pretend
account.
I'm not.
Then I would suggest letting me run the stocks for you. I take a certain percentage off the top, but I try to maintain your investment in good stocks. It's the best way to put it is it allows you to invest in some of the higher risk, higher reward stocks while mitigating said risks.
So you'd work a commission rate, right? The more successful you are in picking our stocks, the more money that we make, the more money that you make.
We found that that's a very successful model for everyone.
Yeah, probably. Considering it's your livelihood, you're less likely to make a mistake. And if you do, you're more likely to correct it or not blame the market. What's the other option?
To manage the account yourself. Of course, there
Ah,
would be no commission, but it would rely totally upon your knowledge of the stock market.
great. Well, thank you very much, Paul. That does answer some of my questions. I'll have to confer with my business partners, everything that I've learned here. But I'm good to, and Xavier will look at the business card. I'm good to call this number and set up an appointment with you.
Sounds fantastic. If you do decide, just let me know if you're looking to do a high risk, high reward kind of investment, or safer with less risk but less potential returns investment.
And as Xavier leaves the room, he'll open the door and turn towards Paul and say, Paul, in recent memory, everything that we've done is so high risk, I don't even know what low is anymore. And then he's going to shut the door.
Okay.
That
All right.
and theme.
And theme. All right. Before we move on to the robot gladiators, do you guys as a group want to discuss that, or?
I think that may be something we can discuss through the week. We have a way,
Sure.
a place for us to, so we can determine as players. Now we have some options to store our money, so we could go in the group loot, decide, what we want to store and what we want to invest, and go on from there. But honestly, most of our discussion is just going to be talking about numbers, and something that we can easily do throughout the week.
All right.
Yeah.
Agreed, my friends?
Oh yeah, definitely.
And I'm cool with
Okay.
just chilling and letting the stream go. I'm cool.
I hate math.
Got it. All right.
Go do whatever you guys want to do. It's fine.
We'll move on to we'll say 2 days have passed, and it's time to enter in to the great Naruni Robot Gladiator Amateur Competition.
Great.
Okay.
So what happens is Talavac would lead you guys back down to the Nerudi trade quarter.
Well, whoever wants to go with me.
Oh, I'm a going. I said
Okay.
I'd go with you.
Oh,
So
okay.
I'm going with you.
All right. I changed my
Yes,
mind.
actually.
Go on. Leave.
That is very important. I do need to know how many people are participating.
The problem is that Vern said BRB, so
Right. Well, actually, why don't we all just take a quick break?
Okay.
Give me a chance to go powder my nose.
Bio break. You mean do cocaine?
I personally
What?
am not that interested in participating. You
Man's
guys go
busy.
ahead.
He's got to have some energy.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
So
okay.
Vern's gonna go ahead with that. Well, we can still take the
I'm cool.
break.
Okay. Oh well, I don't need to take the break then. We can just keep going. All right then.
Okay.
Lucas, are you participating?
Yeah.
All right. So okay. So you'll walk up to the Nerudi trade corner and you'll be directed to the Neruni Coliseum, which is a virtual Coliseum. You'll notice as you're led into the Coliseum and you're told to go to the registration office, what you see down below are giant robots duking it out, and you see on each side of the arena is a little control booth where you see people inside it working controls, almost as if they're working the controls of the robot remotely. And you're directed to a sign-up desk where a Neruni official is sitting there taking names, and they said, signing up for the amateur competition or pros?
I'm signing up for the competition. I want to be in control of one of those. Jokingly.
Sure.
I see. So you're a pro?
I want to be.
An amateur then. I see. Have any of you had any previous combat experience in a robot? And before you answer, please know you will be subject to a small lie detector test before being admitted into the competition, where the only questions they will ask will be ones that pertain to your previous experience with combat robotic vehicles.
So I will answer vehemently no, and then I will BRB, but that'll just be 30 seconds, so don't worry
Okay.
about me.
Lucas is raising his hand.
Yes.
Is it okay if I fought inside of a robot, but didn't particularly pertain of a robot fighting?
What?
I'm
He
looking at
says,
you too.
did you pilot the robot in any way?
No.
Okay, then I think that's fine. And you don't have to raise your hand, sir?
Thank you, sir. As he looks his hand.
I can see him
And-
step back.
And he looks to Televec. Do you have any prior experience with combat vehicles
No,
of this nature?
no, but I know how to man missile turrets on my ship. So I'm good with controls.
Okay. Well, that's fine. Some of the amateurs do have some experience with, say, turrets or heavy weaponry or the like. Really, what we want to make sure is that a professional or skilled robot pilot is not sneaking into the amateur competition. But you're all welcome to sign up. And after, as I said, the short lie detector test shows that you are telling the truth, then you will be led down with the other participants where I assume you want to work together as one team, yes?
Correct. Xavier also gives a bit of a frown, the truth never being one of his stronger points.
He nods. He says, I will direct you over to the 3-man combat vehicles where you'll be able to choose your robot for the competition.
All right.
Xavier will ask, what kind of questions are going to be asked with this little small truth detector?
Yes, I understand it can be very disconcerting, but I assure you, I can tell you exactly 3 questions will be asked. The first question will be, have you ever received any training when it comes to piloting a robot, a robot vehicle of any kind? The second question will be, have you received any training in working the firing mechanisms, gunnery, or communication mechanisms of a combat robot vehicle? And the third question will be, have you had extensive experience with either of those positions in a robot combat vehicle? Those are the only 3 questions that will be asked.
All right, out of character, Squee. Piloting a spaceship is nothing like piloting a
Nothing
robot,
like
right?
piloting a robot.
Great, then I'm good.
Okay. So we can also narrative that. It would basically be they'd strap like a small portable polygraph test to you and ask you those 3 very questions. And as soon as they're done asking them, they take the polygraph off of you.
Wait. Check this out. Polygraph. I slept with a woman for millions of credits.
Why do you
A
do this to
second
poor Squee?
polygraph machine is brought out. And they attach it to you and they ask you the same 3 questions again.
He will answer them and not mention the lady being slept with this time, because this will take all day.
And with that, now that they're confident, they then guide you guys down to the competitors' ring, where you see several other groups of 3. Most of them seem kind of nervous and kind of excited, and some of them are very young. 2 of the groups are like maybe 18 years old, and they held together and they look excited. They look like they're just happy to be there. And there's one group on the other side of the room. They look really small from the distance, and maybe you're starting to think that they're DBs because they're kind of short. And then they walk up towards you, and it's not that they're DBs. They're actual. Well, 2 of them are human. One of them's a wolfen, but they're all very young, maybe 15. And they look you up and down, the 3 of you, and the one in the lead who's wearing glasses looks at you and says, "Oh, new competition, eh? Well, let us be the first to let you know we're winning this competition."
Don't take that sort of. Are you gonna take that, Xavier? I know they look big, but I think we can take them.
Out of character.
Mm-hmm.
Squee, are we a bunch of 30-somethings in a laser tag thing where
No,
the
there
average
are
age is like 12 to 16?
no. The majority of the groups actually that you see are adults. There's only 2 groups, like I said, 2 groups that look like they're young, like 18-ish. Then the group that's in front of you, and then there's like 6 or 7 others that range in age, at least as far as you can tell. Obviously, there's some species that you have no idea what age they are. But it definitely does look like that there's several groups of young people.
Okay. So I'm going to take what Lucas said to heart. And Xavier's going to look this little friggin' glass pipsqueak up and down. And Xavier's going to say, here's a free tip for you, kid.
Light on them.
Don't insult strangers that you don't know. Because the worst thing about that is you don't know who they are. You don't know whether they're going to kick your ass. You don't know if they're sore losers. You don't know anything. So why don't you shut your little mouth before you regret the next words that come out of that little pie hole of yours?
Hang on. Roll me an intimidation check.
Okay. Gladly.
We just threw it down.
Don't drop
He's
the mic.
he's like the hype man back there, like with the gestures and shit.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Take
I
that,
failed
kid.
by 24.
I want to think it was.
So
Lucas
the kid looks at you and pushes up his glasses and he says, "I'm not impressed. We have spent over 300 we have spent over 300 hours practicing in World of Robot Combat, and I think we're ready for you."
This kid
I
plays
guess
video
we'll
games.
find
We have
out.
no chance.
You are not helping, Lucas. I'm
And
done.
as,
I'm done talking. This is Talabac's thing.
as they leave off, a Naruni attendant in Naruni uniforms comes in, and it's a human who looks to be in his 60s, and he has a little shake in his hand, and he says, "Everyone, if your attention, please. In honor of a new trade agreement with the company known as Northern Gun, this year's theme is based off of them. All of your choices are variations of many of their adequate products. It is a chance to put these robots through the paces, as the pros, well, they are unconvinced of their effectiveness. That said, if you would like to take a look, I will show you your options. And in that case, I would like you guys, if you could give me about a 5-minute break so I can lay out your options.
Okay.
All right.
No problem.
Give me 1 second or 5 minutes.
I'd rather the 1 second, but you know.
Let's see here. Okay. This is actually, so I'm gonna make a quick PDF for you guys, and I'm gonna give you some time to pick, because there's some picking to be done.
So we're going to be piloting. I mean, we're going to be remoting something of a power armor nature. I
Yeah,
guess.
actually, yeah, I can kind of explain to you how this is
Yeah.
going to work. You guys are going to, for all intents and purposes, you're going to be piloting a 3-man robot, and so not a power armor, but an actual, 30-foot tall-ish robot. Most of your checks will probably be unskilled, but luckily the people you'll be fighting shouldn't be much better than you. And we're going to handle this just like if you guys were in a robotic vehicle fighting someone else in a robotic vehicle.
Gotcha.
Dude, I just got back. I hope you kick those guys' asses. I hope so.
Stupid kids.
I don't give a
Video
shit.
games, we got no chance.
They threw down, they get fucking hit. They talk shit, they get
We
hit.
survived. Lucas, they might have played video games, but we played the video game called Escape for Our Lives from Splagorth High Lord. We also played the video game called The Hunt. We also played the video game called Fuck Cyrene and Their Giant Lizard Monsters.
Yeah.
I think we're going to be okay.
I put a lot of quarters in that.
Quarters in the Cyrene adventure, yeah. That was a big arcade box.
Yeah.
Put a nickel in the Nickelodeon.
Stop singing, Lucas.
As a off note, does anybody actually know what a Nickelodeon is?
I do.
Nickelodeon?
Nickelodeon?
Isn't it like you put a nickel in, you see like a 10-second film or something?
No.
That's one of them, yeah.
Nickelodeon is, the TV studio.
No,
right?
that's not what he's talking about.
Okay.
He's talking about something else, yeah.
The actual real Nickelodeon, the thing that was not the TV station, was actually basically a jukebox, or what Squee said, basically a screen that would show a small film, because it didn't have that much reel.
Neat.
About 10 seconds, 10 to 5 seconds. That you would just put nickel in.
Mm-hmm.
Also, fun aside for that, the other part of the word of Nickelodeon, because of course the nickel for the nickel part of it, but the other part is a melodian, which is actually a kind of an off. What was it? Gosh, I had it earlier. Accordion? Yeah, accordion. It's very similar to an accordion. Yeah.
Wow.
All right. I'm actually going to just zip the file quick for you guys and throw them over to you.
I think every
over to you.
Piph, I think every session you should have some fun fact about something.
Well, it's just something to say for like 5 minutes, and I thought that was incredibly interesting. I found this out browsing 1950 songs.
I don't remember how I heard of it. I think maybe in one of my history classes I heard about a Nickelodeon. But I've never, sadly, I've never seen one. Well, unless you consider Bioshock Infinite. That's actually a really good example of what Nickelodeons used to be like.
Yeah, that actually is.
Says the man who's never seen a real Nickelodeon.
I
now
have
that I think
not
about
either.
it. Yeah.
Of them before, old photos of them. They're just like giant boxes with the binoculars in them.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it's just really clunky.
All right. Come on. All right. I'm throwing these in there. Whoa, whoa. Desktop. That is not bueno.
I'm gonna try to find that song again.
Okay. All of these pages go in order. So let me just zip this up, send it over to you.
When I was actually watching Nickelodeon as a kid, this is back in the day when we had you can't do that on television. Pinwheel.
Oh, that was good times.
Yes, it was.
Right. Oops. Let me send it to the entire group, not just one of you. There you go. And basically, you guys can look over that and choose which one you think you'd like to use. The stats are the same. The only thing is, the difference is that since you are doing this by remote control, you're not actually sitting in it. You have the option of choosing who does what weapons systems, etc. Like a lot of times robot vehicles will say this weapon's fired by the gunner, this weapon's fired by the pilot. You can modify whatever you'd like to modify as far as who does what.
Nothing popped up. I didn't get anything.
No, it's coming. It's coming. Don't worry. It's 16 megabytes. So.
Oh, okay.
It's a coming.
Oh, okay. Sorry. And if you'll excuse me, I'm going to go grab a drink.
Okay.
All right.
Are you guys getting any download from Squee on Skype? Because I'm pressing download, but nothing's transferring.
Well, I got
It
a
is transferring on my
picture.
phone.
It is a zip file, so if you click
Yeah, I
on
know
it,
it's
it
a
will.
zip file. No, I'm clicking on it, but
Huh.
I have a download directory, but it isn't actually physically downloading.
Interesting.
Oh, wait,
Weird.
no, it just did. Way to make a liar out of me, Skype. There's no progress bar now. Did you notice that?
Yeah, I don't know what that was.
That's
Yeah.
fucking stupid.
I know.
Yeah, it is a bit weird. Hey, I had an idea while I was pouring myself a tasty beverage that I want to throw
Uh-huh.
at you guys and see what you think. So,
Wow.
since there's quite a few choices, and we've got about 45 minutes left,
Mm-hmm.
would you guys want to? Because we could sit here, we could talk about this and start this, or we could say that the actual match is in a day. And I do have some other things planned that I could do. And that way you guys could have the week to kind of go over and think about what you want to use and then start, the next session with the robot battles.
I'm all up for that for another reason, which is if we start combat, we're not going to get it resolved in 45 minutes. So
Yeah, we're
Very
not.
true.
Yeah.
even if we pick something right now, this very second,
Mhm.
we're going to win this competition in 45 minutes.
Yeah, we're
Question.
not.
Squee,
Yes.
does it have to be from the Northern Gun book?
Yes, they
Yeah,
did
those
say.
are your options.
Yeah,
Yeah.
those are your
Okay.
options.
I don't know if I have that
You,
book
you-
on
you
file.
don't need
Dave?
that book. I just sent it to everyone on
Yeah.
Skype.
Check Skype.
I know I
'Cause-
did, but I can't really get anything in there.
You can't download that zip.
Well, I got it, but the only thing is that it's only showing me one image.
Really?
Yeah.
It shows you kind of one image at a time. You have to.
Okay. I'll tell you guys what.
Huh.
I will. I have like a PDF exporter thing. I'll get you guys a better version of it.
Yeah.
Since we're gonna hold off for a moment anyway.
Okay.
I'll get you guys a better version before I go to bed tonight, so that you have the week to kind of go over what you'd like to use.
Yeah.
The ones I chose are all fairly similar when it comes to overall stats and stuff. Some are more
Mhm.
offensive, some are more defensive. So you should have some pretty good options there.
Oh, so you got them.
Yeah.
You got them marked that we can pick from. Correct?
Exactly.
Yes.
Yeah,
Oh,
I
okay.
think I think
There's a
there's
pool.
like 4 or 5 of them. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I'm not very good with getting things like this. So, and if anybody wants to help me out later on, that would be much appreciated.
Okay.
So
I will say really quickly, Isaac will not inherently be interested in the robot, but if you absolutely need a 4th, I can help out. You just need to go and talk to him. That's really it.
Nah, we've heard that they're mostly other teams.
yeah, all guys are either 2-man or 3-man. So
Oh, okay. Cool. Never mind then.
if we
No
cut over to
worries.
Isaac for a little bit, Isaac.
Huh? Sure.
Isaac. Would it be safe to say at some point when they're over there at the getting ready, or maybe when they're on the way back, you're somewhere having a bite to eat, or
Sure.
where would Isaac be?
He will very likely be up in the Manors because that's where he rented a hotel room. So he would probably no. I am going to have lunch or dinner at Wonder World by myself.
I was like, I started to go, oh, okay. All right. So you're having dinner, we'll say, at Wonder World. What kind of restaurant did you choose?
Well, he's had like high fancy food for the past week or two.
Yeah.
So just something greasy. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah.
Actually, Heart would, if you let her know, she'd ask you to bring her back something greasy.
Yeah, sure. He'll bring her back a burger and some fries, like a triple stacker or whatever.
I want everything fried lard.
A deep fried cheeseburger
you-
with deep fried.
You'll when you're almost to the restaurant, when you're walking through Wonderland and seeing the spectacles and maybe getting distracted here and there, you'll actually get a communique from Heart,
Okay.
and she'll say, "Boss, someone was here to see you. They seemed interesting enough, but I told them that you'd be eating at that restaurant, so they're on their way to talk to you. So just thought I'd
Okay.
let you know."
What did they look like?
had a big round head. At least I think
Was
it
it
was
a
their head.
guy or girl? It's a question
That's
mark,
a
isn't it?
really hard question to answer.
Oh, great. Okay.
You'll see when he gets there. Anyway, gotta go. Something's melting, but
Sure.
in the good way. I think. Have fun. Bring me back something.
Will do.
So you get to the restaurant.
Mm-hmm.
You choose a booth. You sit down. It is like a burger joint. It has burgers. It has
Yeah.
not French fries. It's some sort of vegetable that's similar, but it's cut into rings, almost like onion rings.
And would it be safe to say that because this is in the Wonderworld district, there is a roller coaster that goes straight through it, like through the ceiling?
There would be more than one restaurant that you could pick, definitely. The one that has a roller coaster going straight through the ceiling is like a clown theme. So the burger patties are. Have you ever seen like those toasters that like toast the Death Star into your bread or something?
Oh God. Oh
Like
God,
that.
no.
Like there's a clown face toasted on the bread.
No. That would be too horrific. I'll go to the one that you were describing before.
Okay. This one actually has a it's weird. It's like a barbershop quartet theme. Where it's playing like old-timey barbershop quartet music, and it's got the hat and the shirt, but it's different species that wear it, and it's very old-timey.
Awesome mustaches.
Yeah. So you sit down and you're enjoying a meal, and from behind you hear footsteps coming. Nothing like trying to sneak up or anything, and you hear, "Been a long time, partner."
He'll look up and look around for wherever that came from.
It's very easy to spot a robot with a large sombrero and a poncho.
Cyber 6. Hey, here, have. I'll order some more. Sit. Have something.
5 or 6 will take a seat, and he'll say, "I hope time's been kind to you."
We gotta. Well, we've failed the great hunt, which I'm pretty sure you didn't know, right? You guys ended up leaving right after.
Well, yeah. I've heard some things through the pipeline. I didn't know you actually failed. I did hear that you upset quite a few Splagorth. Though I suppose, to be fair, I should say we upset quite a few Splagorth.
Well, technically, we upset one, who then threatened to enslave me and my crew, and we said, "Fuck that!" So we escaped and used our one get out of jail free card. It was kind of a beacon that our boss, who kind of got us into this whole venture anyways, said to use in case of an emergency. Little do we know, hey, the three Galaxies, or the no, I can't remember out of character what it is.
The CCW.
The CCW just showed up and we were able to escape.
Wow,
Thankfully,
no,
I
hadn't heard any of the details. That's
yeah.
a lot more interesting than the history books make it out to be.
Yeah. I was also able to save, thankfully, a couple of our crewmates because one of them was almost beaten to death by a Splagorth. French fry?
Thank you, but I believe food would not be good for my internal systems.
You really are a robot, aren't you? Not some fancy cyborg or anything.
No. Been a robot all my life. An android, if you want to call it that. Artificial intelligence through and through. And he clanks the the chest under his poncho. So I was wondering if your friends are around. I'd like to have a conversation.
Oh, they're doing some kind of robot fight thing.
That sounds ominous, he says.
No. It's here, and he's gonna kind of grab a few napkins and wipe his hands off, and grab 2 French fries. Okay, so what you do is you have a controller, and whatever your controller does, the robot does. In the actual arena, you have a team of 2 to 3, and it's all for this bike that Talavac wants.
Cyber 6 looks at it, nods, and then kind of chuckles, and he says, I just had an interesting thought. Well, I get it well enough, but from my point of view, imagine if I told you a few robots were going to remotely control a human shell to fight another human shell. Rather odd. He looks kind of amused. But in any case, this is more of a business nature. I would like to hire you and your crew.
Hire
For
us?
something-
Why?
Well, it should not be discussed in public, but let's just say that I think you guys could help where others wouldn't be able to. And what I'm after concerns you.
Okay. Concerns me personally, or
The group.
okay. I don't want to bother them. Maybe I should.
Well,
All
maybe
right.
we can set up a time. Says this competition thing isn't actually until tomorrow, so maybe.
Yeah. We could. I think most of them are sleeping in the manors too. Out of character, would you guys want to be up in the high life
All up in this
hotels?
conversation. Oh.
Yeah,
I thought you were
yeah,
going
yeah.
a different route.
Yeah, sure.
Okay. Because
Yeah, I'm fine with it.
if that's so, then I think, I mean, I could pay out of my my portion for everybody to have a room up at the manors or whatever. Then I guess Isaac will offer to possibly lead him to the hotel and then call using the front desk everybody down, or call everybody using his in-room phone to meet in
Just
his
stick
room.
your head out the window and
Yeah,
put your
whatever.
Yeah.
We'll all
Yeah.
meet together. How
Stick
does
his head
that
out the
sound?
balcony. Hey, Talavac.
Henry?
All right. So can we say that is there anyone who wouldn't want to show up to this meeting?
No, I'm only going.
Piph?
I'm going.
Inferno? Do you want to go?
Yeah, I'm going. Yeah.
All right.
Cool.
Then we'll say we can meet in one of your rooms. And Cyber 6 would greet you all and say, hello again, friends. It's been a while. Well, probably longer for you than for me, but I hope things have gone well for you. Isaac filled me in a little of the details. Looks like you've had quite a interesting few months.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Do we have to talk about it?
Oh, right. I didn't mention Siren. That's a place you want to avoid at all costs.
Yes, at all costs.
Siren. That name sounds familiar.
Yeah.
If you don't know it, you're the greatest. You're the best person ever. Because you
Yeah,
don't
it's
know it,
a-
and you don't know what the hell we went through.
It's a planet on the outer rim. It was the death place of a very famous techno wizard. I can't remember his name right now. Out of character. I'm bad at names.
Well,
I'm sorry.
But he was super famous. Super
Cathor.
famous.
His name is Cathor.
Well done, sir.
Thank you.
Done. Cyber 6 nods and he says, well, I probably am recalling something completely different for reasons that I'm about to explain. So, as I told Isaac, I'd like to hire you guys. And in order to do so, I have quite a bit of explaining to do, or questions to answer. Before I continue, I need you to understand what I'm about to tell you is something that we don't normally do. I'm making exceptions because I've worked with you before, and quite frankly, I trust you. We've been in the thick of it before, and you guys didn't fail me, so I think I can trust you. If you're okay with me continuing, he asks questioningly.
Go for it.
Oh yes, please continue with the praise. I love it.
Xavier will simply say, you know what? Listening is free, but we can't promise an answer.
Cyber 6 nods, and he looks at Lucas and he says, well, actually, you did introduce me to a mighty fine hat.
It's fantastic. I'm very glad. By the way, is he still wearing my poncho?
Yes, it is Lucas's poncho.
I still see you have a fantastic sense of wardrobe.
It is quite stylish. I can't really use the word comfort as an android, but it doesn't mean we can't look good, he says, sitting down. And as he sits down on the bed, it creaks more than you would think given his size. He says, well, let me just start and try and make this as short as possible. You probably know enough by now to know that the Corsairs, I and my team, are elite bounty hunters. And I'm not saying that braggingly, that is simply what we are known as. What you probably don't know is that we're not from this place or time. My world, my unit, my group, my organization, if you will, is actually about 500 years in your future.
I'm sorry, what?
Lucas slowly pulls his finger out of his nose in shock.
Xavier, is Cyber 6 drinking anything?
No.
Xavier still tries to smell his breath for alcohol.
You can't tell that he is pushing in or out any sort of oxygen. Cyber 6 says, I know it's a little bit hard to believe, but you all are familiar with rifts, yes?
Well, yeah.
Rifts have the ability to travel to different realities, different places, even different times. However, they are incredibly unstable, unpredictable. In my time, we developed an alternate means of traveling through space and time that is far more reliable, called a temporal gate. These temporal gates, rare though they are often used by criminals like the one that you helped me chase down. Mustang and his crew were from my time. They used the temporal gate to come back here for reasons I'm still not clear on, and I think it's probably better that we never found out. But these criminals, and sometimes unsuspecting innocents, go back through time and mess with things. Well, time can usually correct itself. Say you accidentally kill someone that was going to be elected mayor of a town. Well, someone else will be elected mayor of the town in their place, and time will be able to carry on. But once in a while, something happens that's too big for time to correct. Perhaps you kill someone that would have influenced an entire species, or someone goes back in time and enslaves a race that would have been influential. In a moment like this, time cannot correct itself, and so it creates an alternate, parallel timeline. I know this is all a lot to take in, but The point I'm getting to is these parallel timelines are dangerous. Imagine if you from another timeline met yourself here. As far as we know, it's only happened once, and the outcome was devastating. Our primary objective as Corsairs is to prevent these timelines from ever taking place, to maintain one main timeline, the one that you are in now.
Okay, I raise a finger.
He nods.
And where do we come in? What do
Well,
you need us for?
that's the interesting part. We were sent back in time to find Mustang before he created one of these parallel timelines. However, in capturing him, we somehow created another one. I don't know if it was my group alone or your group alone, but more likely it was ours together. See, our allies who determine such things as generally when a timeline splits and who caused it is not very accurate, shall we say. We know that the timeline split and that it had to do with something that you and our group did together during our time of the Great Hunt. That's why I'm talking to you. I'd like to hire you because I need to find out what this is, what happened, what changed, and stop it before it becomes a split in the timeline. My group, my crew is currently scouring center looking for any signs because the one thing we do know is that this split, the action that causes the split in the timeline has already taken place, but the split itself has not. The landslide, if you will, of events has not reached such a point where the timeline is split, but when it does, it will be here on center.
Okay, it's a very interesting story you have there, but I don't think you made my question's answer very clear. What do you want us to do? What are you holding back?
Well, Xavier pipes up. Wait a second. If we're going to swallow this whole thing, assuming you're telling us the truth, why can't you just go back in time to an earlier time and fix your mistake?
That is unfortunately not something that is permitted. Our group cannot go back and alter anything our group has already done in the past without causing massive problems. Another Corsair group cannot. Let me try and put this in simple terms. Say you went back yesterday and changed something that he points over to Isaac, he does, and you find out this was a mistake. You can't then send someone else back to stop you from doing that because you're just going to make it worse. The only thing you can do is prevent the eventual landslide of events. If I tip a glass of water over, there's still time before that glass of water hits the floor, even if I can't stop the glass from tipping. I can still stop the water, if that makes sense.
Probability overlap.
He nods. The reason why I've come to you is one, as I said, I trust you. There's very few people here I know. Two, whatever caused this, we caused somehow. You don't know what, but I thought coming to you might help. Maybe you'd have a different perspective. Maybe you'd have some idea on what happened, because frankly, we have no idea what this could be, and we don't have much time to figure it out. As far as I understand, we don't have an exact time or day or place, but soon, within a month, things will spiral out to a point where this reality will be altered and create a parallel timeline. And I stress, when such a thing happens, it is monumental. It is something that affects the entire course of an entire planet or larger.
Well, this is new.
So,
I'll look to everybody.
yeah. He says, however, I don't expect you to do this out of the kindness of your hearts. I would like your help in this investigation, and I'm willing to pay you 10 million credits.
Yeah, Xavier, have a talk?
So you go through time.
Yes. On a regular basis, as a matter of fact.
Am I going to be a time detective?
Oh, he kind of stutters, and he says, "Well,
Do I get badge?
Don't get his hopes up.
he shrugs. He says, "Well, being a corsair is not an easy thing to generally. We don't recruit corsairs, but you certainly would be able to call
Oh,
detective."
sweet.
Xavier to temper Lucas's enthusiasm by crossing his arms a little bit and say, "This is still pretty difficult to process, but here's the thing, Cyber. If you talked to us half a year ago with that price, I think we'd probably jump on it. But equally powerful and mysterious people invite us to a contest whose prizes would be immaterial. We're talking, of course, about Thraxus and his hunt. We barely escaped from our lives. We just came back from a fantastic vacation, and we have a lot of money already.
I see.
Before we even, at least I, consider this, I need you to be frank up front. Tell us, do much better than Thraxus ever did to us, who always spoke in generalities and mysteries. I want you to specifically tell us how much danger we would be in.
He and he says, "I will answer as quickly as I can, without knowing the events that have transpired to cause this and what it's generating. I can't give you an exact answer. I can tell you that usually things that shift events on such a scale can tend to be violent and dangerous. I can tell you this. In my experience, something like this turns out to be destructive, and lots of people end up dying. Usually that's what the shift has caused. A balance of power changes hands and someone rises to power who shouldn't have, and usually those who are underneath them get trampled underfoot. I would give you a very straight answer if I could, so I will say this. The chance of danger is there. I will help me at least find out what caused this, what we're even looking for. Do that, and then you can decide for yourselves if it's too dangerous to continue or not. But I can also offer you perhaps something else that Thraxus never did.
What?
All ears.
He unfurls something and lays it on the bed. It is wanted posters. Written by or printed out by Splagorth, and it has rather bad approximations of you four, and I mean fairly bad. That one looks like a lizard person. It's easy to tell that it's the race Talavac is, but it's not like a spitting image. The other one, you can tell there's a tall guy with a cowboy hat. The other one looks kind of like Xavier, maybe. The shirt.
Xavier's too worried. I have a catalog of faces I can pick from.
This one is that colorful outfit.
How do they know the colorful outfit? How do they know?
Lucky they didn't sexy Splagorth outfit. Jesus Christ, what's the matter with me? I forgot what you made that a thing.
Is there a gas leak in your house somewhere?
Cyber 6 says, The Splagorth that you upset seems to be after you. Now, to be honest, this could be anyone, and the chances of him finding you at the moment are rather slim. But in case he does, and in case things get too hot or too powerful for you, in lieu of payment, maybe I can offer you a favor. It's to relocate you somewhere he could never touch you, if it becomes necessary.
When
Hmm.
when do you need our answer by?
I really am kind of...
Now?
No, he says. You can take time to think about it. My team is already working on it. Maybe we'll find a lead. But how about this? Take some time, consider, and if you refuse my offer, then maybe at least you might be able to help me with some ideas. You were with us. Maybe you can think of something that we might have done that would have caused such a shift. I can tell you this. The war between the Spagorth and the CCW is not what's at stake here. That war was always going to happen. Now our records are a little spotty. Maybe you kicked it off sooner than needed. Maybe you changed the focus of it, but whatever the case may be, the war was always going to take place. So this is something different. Something that happened while we were together. Take some time. Think about it. We'll keep investigating. And he'll give you like a phone, like a radio contact.
Hmm.
I carry this with me at all times. Contact me whenever.
Question.
Yes.
Is it only one favor for the entire group?
The Cyber 6 sits back down. He says, all right, look, I'm going to level with you. We fucked up.
Yeah, we did.
Corsairs are not... No, he says, no, not you. You didn't know. You couldn't have. Corsairs are not supposed to create the very thing they're trying to stop. If my team does not fix this, we will not be Corsairs anymore. We will be stripped with dishonor. If there is something within my power, I will grant it. Because the truth is, we're drawing a blank right now, and we need a little bit of help.
Okay. Theoretically, how easy would it be to find a specific person throughout time?
Cyber's silent, and he says, depends on how well known the person was. If it was just an average person in some average point in time, it would be impossible. Understand, our knowledge of the past relies mostly on what the histories have recorded. So the more popular or famous the person, the more chance we could find them.
While he is talking, Isaac goes, because this is in Isaac's room. Isaac goes over to a backpack, pulls out a folder, and throws it on the table. Him.
How do you know him?
He is my father.
Cyber's quiet for a very long time. And he says this. Every circuit in my body is telling me to use this as leverage, but I think that would be cruel.
Xavier thinks, no, that would be smart.
He says, there is... I'll tell you what I know. Your father was a Corsair.
What?
He came to us from past time. He was running from something. He said that it was better they thought he was dead. He was incredibly talented and skilled and quickly rose through the ranks as a Corsair. But he went...
Oh.
Your father...
Sorry.
I don't know the details. Most Corsairs don't. But for whatever reason, he chose to betray the Corsair Order and go off on his own. I am sorry, but most likely he's being hunted down by Corsairs.
Okay.
I can tell you that your chances of finding him are much greater than an average Joe. I know who he is. I could dig around when I get back.
We will take that into consideration. Thank you.
He nods. And he stands up again. He says, I understand that you have a lot to swallow. Take some time. But if it helps, it is possible that you could have been at the center of an event that could cost millions of lives if we don't stop whatever this is.
Mm.
And then he walks out of the room. Unless someone stops him, of course.
I won't. But after
Isaac's
he leaves,
not.
Xavier's gonna say, "It's always millions of lives. When we were in the hunt, we had to help him because of millions of lives. Our consequences affected millions of lives. Now it's another millions of lives of things that we did." Xavier's gonna cross his arms and lean back. He's like, "I'm not gonna buy the guilt, and we don't need the money." But he's got his hooks in you already, Isaac. I can see it in your eyes about your dad. And I don't blame you one iota. So I'll tell you what, we didn't become a team when it was convenient for us.
Yeah.
If you want to do this, we'll do it. But God, we were just on vacation. I really don't want to go through another hunt situation. Hell, I think I might take Siren over going over another hunt situation like that. And
Ooh, that's-
time?
Bad.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's even harder to grab my head around.
I don't know. I don't know what I want to do.
We should charge them 1 credit per life saved.
Yes.
That I can get
Like
behind.
it turns out that the problem was only like 100,000 people. It's like, oh,
Well,
Bullshit.
That'll be 2 billion, thank you.
Yeah. Well, I'm pretty sure you guys know I'm sort of interested in this. We were just on vacation, but we knew that vacation was going to end eventually. We weren't going to just
Look.
sit around do nothing for the rest of our lives.
No, but doesn't mean we have to go dealing with Time Lords, Xavier says.
All right, I go over to you, Isaac, and I say, look, I know you and I have had our differences,
Mm-hmm.
but you have a chance to reunite with a parenting figure that I will never have the chance to. So, I'm in.
excuse me.
Lucas?
You hear mumbles from him rolling around the floor. I'm gonna knock your clock off.
Hey, detective.
Oh my god. Lucas wants to be a Corsair.
He wants to be a time detective.
Yeah, I don't think he's that specific.
Yeah. It has a better ring to it.
Xavier?
A little reluctantly, of course, but I agree. You know what I'm saying? It's like, I can't let you do this by yourself.
Xavier says, I already told you. We're in it together. Here's the deal, though, Xavier says, leaning over. When I want to do something that's super important, you guys get behind me, too.
Sure.
All right.
That's fair. Fair is fair.
Then fuck it. Like he said, worst we can do is just investigate this anomaly, this problem that I was talking about, this tear in the fucking time, space, whatever. That can't be too dangerous, right? Xavier says, immediately regretting his words.
We're just looking for information, and we just need to tell him the information, and we're done. Then we get our rewards, and we can walk away.
Recon
Okay.
mission at best. So.
All right. Then what the hell?
Mm-hmm.
Vacation's over.
Yep.
And it's a 10 mil in our pocket. I'm not going to complain about that.
Well, no. Like I said,
Yeah.
I'm not going to turn that down. It's just,
Isaac is going to reach up to his earbud and try and thumb in the radio frequency that Cyber 6 gave us.
You get a call back or a response back. Hell, you guys don't mess around. That was fast.
Yep, if you want, you can come back in.
There's a knock on the door.
If nobody goes to answer the door, Isaac will use telekinesis to open the door.
I just
Lucas
can't.
rolls over to the door and like leans with like wide eyes looking at the brim and slowly starts opening the door. Finger
Oh,
guns at the
jeez.
ready.
Yeah, he wants to
6.
be a time detective now. Thanks.
Cyber 6 looks at Lucas and
Peering
then
around
gives
the doorway.
he gives Lucas the finger guns that pow pow.
You got me this time.
He nods and he says, "So, what do you say?"
We're in.
Yeah.
Where do we start?
We sound so enthused at this, too. Yeah. We're in.
I was
he
kinda
nods
trying-
and he
Sorry, I was kind of trying to go for the more serious approach.
I
Oh,
thought
okay.
I thought that was in character too. I thought
Yeah.
it was yeah.
Oh,
Cyber 6
it's just my bad. I'm low energy, so I guess I'm projecting that to others.
Cyber 6 will nod and he'll say, "Well, truth of the matter is we're not quite sure. We know it's somewhere here on Siren. I mean on on Center.
Center.
We know it's not the Splagorth, or at least it's not the war between the Splagorth, which is going to heat up very soon and get very bad."
And it had to have happened between the two of us. Between your group and our group. Not anything
At some
that we
point
did
when-
after that.
At some point when we were traveling together.
How? Was it helping the
Something to
Naruni?
ponder.
He shrugs. He says, "The only lead, if you want to call it that, we have right now is something that is unusual. Our operator noticed that there's been an unusual number of disappearances in the lower levels of Center lately.
Oh,
Un-
fuck.
Highly unusual number of disappearances."
And,
But we never met on Center.
yeah,
He
that
nods.
is a thing.
That is... You begin to see my confusion.
And
He
it-
shrugs. He goes, "Normally..." Mhm.
Well, Isaac will take a sidelong glance at Xavier and say, "Remember when we were talking about possibly meeting up with Sarah? Maybe we should do that."
Yeah. Just some employee of Flanders Paradise that we associated with.
Oh,
Yeah.
I see. Well, perhaps if we can figure out what's causing this, we might have a better idea of what we're up against.
Mhm.
Or, he shrugs, "Well, we got to work with what we have, right?"
Which is really nothing. Yeah, sure.
He nods and he says, "Well, tomorrow, after I believe you guys have a bout in the arena, And he looks, his eyes like sparkle in amusement for some reason. And he says, after that, I'll properly introduce you to the crew. You've met some of them, but I don't think you've ever actually met them. And if we're working together, it might be good to know them. They're a
Your
good
crew?
group. He nods.
I can't remember her name, but how is that lady that I patched up still there?
He nods. She's fine. And, well, she swears that the ship misses Lucas, but of course I've
believe
never
it.
believed in that nonsense.
That's
Mm.
just crazy.
He nods. There's always debate among Corsairs whether the ship is sentient or not. Just because it's organic doesn't mean it thinks.
Mm-hmm.
Just like doesn't mean it's artificial intelligence. But I debate for another time. She's doing well. In fact, you'll meet her again tomorrow.
And I take it you're still flying the Tisha, I see.
The
Uh,
Tisha?
Yeah, that was the name you gave me for the ship that he was using.
Huh?
Yes, he said.
Oh, okay.
It was what they called their ship.
Yeah,
Okay.
I wrote it down.
Okay.
I just wanted to bring it up.
He nods and he says, "I can't imagine not flying her."
It's an amazing piece of machinery, if I don't want to call it that.
Hmm.
It's an amazing being, I should say.
He shakes his head. No. Machinery is a good way to go about it. He says, thumping his chest again.
All right, I think
Anyways.
we have a lot to discuss.
Yeah, there's a lot
Gentlemen?
to discuss.
Yes. Good luck in your tournament tomorrow, and afterwards I'll introduce you to the crew, and then we'll go from there.
All right.
And I wonder, unlike Thraxis, you leave when you leave. I'm not going to try and goad you in any more than I already have.
Okay.
No shackles, for the lack of better terms.
Yeah.
He shrugs. He's like, I prefer partners, not lackeys.
Hmm.
Good. Fair enough.
And he goes, oh, and some of the crew wasn't exactly as excited as I was about telling you all of this. So if they're a little bit cold in the reception, don't worry. They're good people. They'll warm up to you.
Eh.
They just don't know you like I do.
Savior
great.
will give a smile. Don't worry. Anyone.
He can, you know.
Cyber 6 like sweeps off his sip, says, I believe that. And then he gives like a flamboyant bow and says, until tomorrow, gentlemen, and then puts the sombrero back on his head and begins to walk the door.
Respect, Savior says. That is what you call respect. Oh, this little sass that we get from Miss Sarah face.
All right, guys.
Yep.
I think that's a great time to call it.
Yep, that's a good
All right,
time.
I'll call
Yep.
the session there.
Yes.
All right.
Have a good one. Bye-bye.
Good night, people.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.